Let's go. That is how you go out there and win a pre-playoff hockey game. That is how it is done. Let's go. Your New Jersey Devils are playing playoff hockey in March. Wow.
How about those Devils? How about those Devils?
I'm going to run it again.
How about those Devils? How about those Devils?
How about those Devils? Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And what a game. What a beautiful, beautiful game tonight at the Prudential Center in a playoff game. This one was massive. This one was absolutely huge. Your New Jersey Devils heading back to the Rock, hosting the Columbus Bluejackets, who are right on their ass for that third spot in the Metro. And your New Jersey Devils go out there and grind out a 5-3 victory. I must ask, I must know.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Give it up for your New Jersey Devils without Jack Hughes going into battle. Oh God, win or lose, we booze, guys. We're going with tried and true. Dirty Devil vodka. Let's go. Had to switch up the jersey. I wore the black practice jersey. It was fitting for a funeral. Devils got slaughtered by Winnipeg. I had to bring out Old Faithful, the old school Martin. Whew! Lots to get to tonight, kids, but win or lose, we booze. We're going with the Dirty Devil vodka. Smooth as hell. The official vodka of the great Martin Brodeur. Going to throw that on ice, but cheers to all of you. Wow, let's go. Let's go. This is the team we've been waiting for. Let's go. Back-to-back wins. All kinds of guys getting on the score sheet. My God. When it hits your lips, victory vodka, baby. Let's go. Feels so good, guys. Not to mention, I had the worst drive of all time. Back from the Rock. My God, what an absolute horror story. But I'm not going to waste a lot of time on that. But wow, what a game. One of the keys to the game, as we all know, got to come out flying in the first period. Your New Jersey Devils did just that. Didn't make us wait long. At 6:37 on the power play, working it around a little bit. Someone hit a post, and at 6:37,
He's pretty and he lives in Jersey City. Number 13, nicohischier.
Nicohischier gets his 27th on the power play at 6:37, assisted by Bratter and Luke Hughes, giving the Devils the 1-0 lead. And wow, what a nice little tip for the captain. It feels like it's been a little bit for Nico to get on the score sheet. Love to see him make that move there, give the Devils the 1-0 lead. A little while later, shortly after that, Paul Cotter takes a penalty. I was cursing his name. I was like, damn it, Cotter. This is not how you get redemption after being a healthy scratch. This was not the redemption I was looking for. But sure enough, a few minutes later, he comes flying out of the box after said penalty and turns on the jets and just starts revving it. Comes flying in, and we know Paulie's got those hands. We all know the finish in tight for Paulie is a specialty. He floors it, finds the extra gear, comes in all alone, and finishes on the backhand.
Paulie. Yo, Paulie. Hey, yo, Paulie.
Hey, yo, Paulie. At 10:49, my man and yours, Paul Cotter gets his 14th of the season unassisted, giving the Devils the 2-0 lead. And at that point, I was like, oh, my God. I was like, is this going to happen? Are we going to coast to an easy victory for what feels like the first time in an eternity? I wasn't sure. I was still a little cautious, but I was like, we got to get this. Late in the period, who do you know? Cody Glass makes a little play.
Jesperbratt, tit-a-tat, where my boy at?
Where my boy at? Jesperbratt at 18:51 gets his 18th of the season, giving the Devils a 3-0 lead, assisted by Glass. And at that juncture, I was like, oh, baby, could this be just a long party here in a pre-playoff warfare? Could we just coast? Now, obviously, if you saw the game, there was some dangerous times, but I was flying high after the first, up 3-0. We get to the second. Olivier scores to the Blue Jackets at 3:30, cuts the lead to 3-1, and I was like, oh no. Oh dear God, no. I'm greedy. Even when we were up 3-0, I was like, let's get the fourth one and kind of put this away. 4-0, I'm pretty confident no matter what, you're going to win the game, even if it's super early. 4-0, I mean, if you blow that, that's tragic. But 3-0 is like, And Olivier gets his 14th at 3:30. And now you're like, oh no, let's get the next one to get that 3-goal lead back. And sure enough, 7:16, 4 minutes later, Marchenko gets his 25th of the season, cuts the lead to 3-2. And at that point, I had a nauseating pit in my stomach. I was like, if we blow this game, knowing what's on the line, to come out with a 3-0 lead, if we blow this, I did feel at that juncture like this is a do or die now. Now it does become a must win, in my opinion, because I thought if they had blown it, the season would be over. I don't know how you would recover from blowing that 3-0 lead in this particular game against the Blue Jackets. But Devils up 3-2 after Marchenko's goal. And I can't even make this up. It was such poetic justice. My buddy that I went to the game with, shout out to my buddy Brian for hooking me up with the tickets. He texted me late in the afternoon, was like, do you want to go to the game tonight? And I was like, wasn't mentally or physically prepared for it. I had planned on, maybe doing a pregame. I was getting my stuff ready at home. But yeah, shout out to my buddy Brian. Thanks a lot, Brian. You're the man. Text me late and he's like, do you want to go to the game? And I was like, all right, I'm going to have to do it. Pick up my buddy Joe. Joe is a Timomeier hater. He's one of these guys that once he hated Timo from the beginning and he will never deviate. So I'm listening to him chirp Timo at the game. And literally as Timo's coming down the wing with the puck right before the goal, he's smack talking Timo. He's like, yeah, look at this. Look at this. Sure enough, just so everyone knows, if Timo's coming down the right side, obviously, as I have explained ad nauseum, I don't need any more proof. If you have eyeballs, you realize Timo's a left-handed shot, wants to come down the right wing. He's coming down the right wing. My buddy's like, yeah, look at this. Look at Timo. And Timomeier at 16:49.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Timomeier, baby, from the right side with a beautiful ripper at 16:49. His 18th of the season, assisted by Nason and Dumoulin, gives the Devils the 4-2 lead. And that is how the second period would end. And it was so sweet to hear him talking smack on Timo literally milliseconds before he rocketed that shot into the back of the net. The march of Meier continues. My man Timo is going to be a beast down the stretch here. The Devils are embracing playoff hockey. It does seem like they are slowly morphing into a new identity post the Jack Hughes injury, which is a must. You can't play the same type of game without Jack. I am glad to see that they are not doing that, and they're kind of finding their way. This is playoff hockey, friends. This is playoff hockey in March. A new team, a new identity. It's slowly being born, but love to see Timo continue the march of Meier. Gets his 18th. Second period ends 4-2 Devils, and at that point, we're like 20 minutes away, guys. 20 minutes away. After the second period, I went back into the lounge to stuff my face a little bit more. I think my final menu items are always the little ice creams. So I had a couple little ice creams, and I'm like, we're 20 minutes away. This is a massive game. Got to get this one. And sure enough, we just get back to our seats in time. The intermissions seem to go by like that when you're at the game. It's much faster than when you're at home for whatever reason. But scurry back to our seats just as they're dropping the puck. And shortly thereafter, at 26 seconds, a beautiful wrister.
He's long, strong, and down to get the defense on. Lucas Hughes.
Lucas Hughes at 26 seconds, his 6th of the season from Glass and Bratt, give the Devils the 5-2 lead. And then I could exhale again. I was like, we're going to win this game. We're up 3 goals. We're not blowing it now. Olivier would add another one at 10:29 to cut the lead to 5-3. But that's all she wrote, folks. Your New Jersey Devils gutting out a monstrous, it cannot be understated. This was a monstrous victory at home on the ice at the Rock. further kind of giving us a little cushion over the Blue Jackets, who have been on a complete tear as of late, right on our heels. And the game next week against them is equally as massive. If we could beat them again, that would really put a kind of dagger in their hopes, I believe, of catching us for that third Metro spot. It may end up, plummeting them into the wild card bloodbath for good. But we want no parts of that. Devils got to find a way to stay in that third spot. But massive victory for your New Jersey Devils, 5-3. Oh, I'm burping up all kinds of ice cream here. Get to the game stats. Devils 28 shots on goal. The Blue Jackets with 20. Devils 46% in the faceoffs. Blue Jackets 54%. Devils go 1 for 5 on the power play for 20%. Blue Jackets go 0 for 3. Devils penalty kill once again, getting it done. Devils with 16 hits, not nearly enough. This is playoff war, boys. I'm going to need to see way more hits than 16. Blue Jackets with 27 hits. Devils with 13 block shots. The Blue Jackets with 14 block shots. Devils with 11 giveaways. The Blue Jackets with 10 giveaways. Devils and Blue Jackets each with 2 takeaways. And that is all she wrote. 5 different goal scorers for your New Jersey Devils. The 3 remaining big guns, Nico, Timo, Bratter, all getting on the score sheet. Luke Hughes gets one. Paulie Cotter gets one after his healthy scratch. And what a time to be a New Jersey Devils fan. I can't believe that we're in this kind of dogfight here to make the playoffs, but it's going to be a fun ride. And the boys got to just keep playing playoff hockey and come together and just keep it going. For some reason, I don't know why this does this. My NHL website, 16 games left after tonight. Devils with 76 points with a little 6-point lead on the Blue Jackets, who have 2 games in hand. So even if they won both their games in hand, we still have the 2-point cushion. And now we're going to have to stick it to them again next week to really distance ourselves. And hopefully the Rangers fall apart. And hopefully, we're riding high into the playoffs. And I do believe a lot of you, flamed me last night. If you didn't see it, check it out. Last night I did a roundtable New Jersey Devils discussion with Trey Matthews of Locked On Devils, Daniel Amoya of the Hockey Writers, and Sam Wu of Let's Go Devils podcast. And I gave and I even said at the time it was, probably delusionally optimistic predictions, but I predicted the boys to do pretty well down the stretch. And I'm sticking with my preseason prediction for the team, which is Eastern Conference Finals. I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like if this team comes together, if they embrace winning these low-scoring games and they really start grinding out wins, that anything is possible. When you're a great defense, or at least a very good defense, I believe we're second in the league in goals against. If you could continue to shut the other team's offense down and get strong goaltending from Markey and grind out 2-1, 3-2 wins, I think it is very possible. And so I am very optimistic about this team. Hopefully they just continue to keep it going. But if you didn't see that roundtable, conversation, I just put the link in the chat. But shout out to all those guys. That was a fun time just to kind of pick everyone's brain and see different perspectives about the team and different things going into the future. But what a massive win. Cheers to all of you. The Devils finally back-to-back wins for the first time in a while. And I will start diving into the comments here. Chris, great win tonight. My heart is still racing. So is mine. From the game and also my kind of Tokyo Drift drive home. My buddy Joe was getting very nervous. He's a very squeamish passenger. And I was getting my Vin Diesel on, Fast and Furious style on 280. My buddy Goody, win or lose, we booze. It really tastes better after a dub. Let's go Devils. Of course. Wait, is that? Victory vodka. Nothing like it. Stanislav, love the game. Finally a good win. Servy, we need nobody. This is the team. John Woodson, next game of the following is a guaranteed loss. We all know they are, I guess they're supposed to say they are not winning 3 or 4 straight. I'm not even going to hope for it. What a pessimistic fella you are, Woodson. Nicole, when we almost lost our 3-goal lead, I had a bit of a panic. I had a massive panic. Massive, massive panic. Devin G, who skipped over the cookie win. Oh, yeah, I'm not remotely into that as much as everybody else. But Mrs. Fields Cookie finally got its first W on the season. Shout out to Mrs. Fields. The cookie finally won the little food race they do at the food race they do on the scoreboard. So a lot of people are excited. The arena kind of exploded into cheers. I thought that was kind of humorous. Yo, Holmes, I'm glad Cody Glass is an ass. Yeah, he's so far so good. Serve, matter of fact, we better without Jack. I don't know if we're better without Jack, but I do think the team is forced to take on a different identity. And in the end, it might just, kind of morph them into more of this low-scoring, grind-them-out playoff-style team. And if it pans out, then so be it. But to try to play the same exact game without Jack Hughes as with him, I think is a fool's errand. And I think you're seeing this team kind of have to embrace, getting some of those uglier goals, get the puck in, chase, try to establish a cycle. And not every goal is going to be a pretty rush job, transition type goal. And hopefully they just find a way to keep embracing it and just, keep going and getting these wins. But they're going to have to grind it out. The schedule down the stretch, while it's one of the easier ones in the league, there's going to be a lot of teams looking to play spoiler and a lot of teams that might be still clutching onto wild card hopes of their own. Joseph, nobody can tell me this team can't make a cup run with that decor. They opened the game for the scores and great goaltending to me. Completely agree, Joseph. Whenever you have great D and goaltending, you're always in the game. If you could score 2-3 goals a game, that could be enough to win on a lot of nights. Walt. Oh, by the way, what side did Timo Street get on to snipe that goal tonight? I think we all know the answer to that and hope to see this be a routine position from here on. Regardless of where they slot him in the lineup, whenever he gets the chance, and I said this last night and in the roundtable conversation, we were talking about Timo, it's clear that he is better on the right and that he favors it. Now, I do think he's being a team player and sucking it up and playing left wing, but whenever he has the chance, he's driving the right side every single time. And as a left-handed shot, it makes perfect sense. But yeah, well, obviously, right side Timo, beautiful snipe. Collect records, so nice to see them putting pucks in the net again, thank God. I just messed up. Man, what a game. Devin G, Timo time, baby. Oh, I love me some Timo time. Mortensen, first round against the Canes is going to be tough. Hopefully we could finally exercise the demons. I've hated the Canes for years and years now. They've had our number for quite some time. I really do hate them, and it would be really something special if we end up playing them to finally get their number and bounce them. And without Jack Hughes, nonetheless. But again, as everyone's saying, when you have great defense and goaltending, you're never out of the game. And hopefully they just find a way. Getting hot at the right time is crucial. Getting hot at the right time could be enough. I'm not saying to go out and win a cup per se, but there's no reason why this team cannot win, a couple rounds. And it would be obviously amazing for them to go on and win a cup, but let's just get to the playoffs and see what happens. Chris Wilson, Timo time tonight. My buddy Goody, yo, Ace, I quite like our bottom six at the moment. They're not perfect, but hey, if they can be productive, I'll have that all day compared to the slop of the last 2-3 months. For sure. For sure. John Woodson, Timo needs about 12 more to earn his pay. What, you're putting the cutoff at 30 goals? I thought going into the season he'd get 60 points. He has 42 points right now. I do think he'll finish somewhere probably in the mid-50s. And again, he's playing his off wing, and he wasn't playing power play one for the majority of the season. Had he been playing power play one and on the right side, he'd easily be a 60-point guy while creating for other people, while smashing guys, while being heavier, edgier, more violent, doing things that none of our other forwards can do. Timomeier, in my book, is doing A-okay. I wish he would produce a little bit more, but in the end, he's not the, massive disappointment or bust that many people are trying to make him out to be. Timomeier is a bull, and this team does not have a lot of them. Does not have a lot of them whatsoever. Serve, even Luke is playing better. He doesn't feel forced to always pass to his brother. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, maybe he does try to look for him a little too much, but, even if it wasn't his brother, it's a star player on the team, and I feel like you'd probably see at least a little element of that, even if they weren't related, just him being his brother. M. Sharp, another win. What a beautiful, beautiful win. Yo, Holmes, Luke stepping up. Absolutely. Jonathan the Zombie took Ace all of one game after the trade deadline to go back to the Rock. Didn't he say he wasn't going to give the organization a dime after that? So I clarified on this. I was gifted tickets by a very good friend. I personally cannot support the organization financially at the moment. Now, playoff time, I'll probably have to break my ban. But as far as regular season, I will stick to it. I personally will not buy tickets to another game during the regular season. I just can't do it in good consciousness. We had only 11 turnovers, not 20-something. Did I say the wrong stat? I was reading it off NHL. 11 giveaways. Once again, win one of the 10-6-1 prediction you made for the last 17 games. Actually, it was 10-5-2, my guy. 10-5-2. 10-5-2 is my prediction. One down, 1-0. Woodson says Cotter should never be benched. I agree with that as well. I do think his offensive upside, his speed burst, his finishing, I was a little bit stunned personally when it was announced that he was a healthy scratch. I was definitely stunned. I think many of you were as well. But who knows? In the grand scheme of things, the Devils did win that game. Maybe it did, whether it was physical rest, mental rest, a combination of the two, give him extra ammo internally, did something to his psyche. I don't know. Whatever it is, I didn't agree with it at the time. I'm still not saying I necessarily agree with it now, but in the end, we won the game. He was benched, and he came out with something to prove tonight, and that goal was monumental at a huge point of the game coming out of the box. So who knows? Maybe that did have a positive effect on him overall. I don't expect to see him benched anymore, or scratched, rather. Woodson, I'd rather have more offense on this playoff ride. I think you're not going to see him. I don't think he's going to be out of the lineup anymore. Yo, Holmes Keefe said Cotter had fresh legs. Tom Fitzgerald, Wine Depot. Ace, what's up, brother? Just wanted to thank you for all you do. Just wanted to say I told you so. Cody Glass, effing all-star. Oh, boy. SST says Cotter must be reset every other game so he scores every time he comes back. Woodson says Keefe is an idiot. Bench Sprong for Bastion and Tatar. I do find it a little odd that, despite looking pretty good in his Devils debut, that they scratched him in favor of some of these other guys. It is pretty interesting. Yo Holmes says Daniel asks quality questions at the pressers. Yeah, he's the only one who asks real questions. The rest of the people essentially are Devils employees and whatever else. But yeah, shout out to Daniel. He got chirped yelled at, a little bit by Halla for giving him a hard time, I guess, about his drought. But it was a 3-month drought. I see both sides of it. It is what it is, and you move on from it. Val says they stand around waiting for Hughes to do something. Without him, everyone digs in. Yeah, you got to do more. The top gun is out. Got to step up. Got to pull your weight. Michael Russell, Eastern Conference Finals. How many ice creams did you have? Listen, man, maybe it's a little delusionally optimistic, but if they get hot down the stretch, they start playing to this new identity, leaning on strong defense and goaltending, trademarks of the dynasty year Devils. I do believe it could happen. That was my preseason prediction. I'm sticking to it. I am sticking to it. Steve says it's all because of Mrs. Fields. Woodson, I think instead of being swept in the first round, we'll win 2 games and be bounced. My confidence has never been higher in this team. Chico, I don't know if you saw Gambatti's tweet, but jesperbratt is the only player in the NHL with 70 points and 70-plus hits. I didn't see his tweet. I did see it on the scoreboard at the Rock. I'm just trying to see if I could pull it up on my phone. Yeah, they flashed it on the screen at the Rock after the game. Pro Bolt says we'll see what happens in the playoffs. Pulp Mystic, it may sound crazy, but this team needed to learn to be a real hockey team without relying on Jack. I think Jack is a specialist more than a foundation. I think there's something to that, right? It's like, in my opinion, you don't want your identity to be his personal identity, if I'm being honest. It's more of a skill, kind of flashy game, Instagram hockey, if you will. I do think, that element is valuable in doses, but to make the whole team's identity that, I don't think is the greatest formula for winning. And you're starting to see this team find new ways to score and win games. Samuel, one of the guys in charge for that round robin last night asked who your surprise. One of the guys in charge for that round robin last night asked who your biggest surprise was going to be for this game. I said Cotter and caught shit. I think I don't remember the question you're referring to, but I thought I was saying who do you look to kind of have a strong finish to the season. Sad Jets fan. Ace, huge win for the Devs tonight. That's probably the closest to the pre-break Devils we've seen outside the first half of the second period. Probably. It probably has to be. Woodson says, I'm not pessimistic. I've just seen the story over and over again for the last 2 seasons. Fair point. Brian J. Wow, Ace, Eastern Conference Finals. I appreciate the optimism, but you're being a prisoner in the moment. Let's just try and win one series. I'm sticking to my preseason prediction. Jacob says Mrs. Fields going to send us Wynn going to send us on a heater. Flynn is a big back. Avalanche are trying to get Sid the Kid. I didn't hear anything about that. John Fay, Columbus is going to want blood in our heads when we play them Monday. Yeah, we got to come out and beat them again. Sad Jets fan, it sounded like the Devils scored when the cookie won. Even Keefe and Cotter acknowledges it in their interviews. Yeah, so I'll have a vlog. I don't know how comprehensive this one's going to be, but I will have a vlog of this game. Probably go live. It'll probably go up tomorrow afternoon. And I do have a video of a funny little thing they did before the race, then the race, and then seeing the crowd. But the crowd did explode like a goal was scored. It was pretty crazy. Jim Bean, I'll admit I was completely wrong about our trade deadline. If Glass keeps playing this way, Cholowski was solid, and I like that he's putting pucks on net. Playoffs start now. Let's go Devils. Listen, Bean, regardless of how these guys play, and I hope they play great, it's not changing my opinion on the deadline whatsoever. Richard, most dangerous lead in hockey is 3-0. They responded, and Timo was clutch and played a hell of a game. Love me some Timomeier. Let's just take a look. What did he finish with here? Timomeier, 1737, 23 shifts, 6 shots, 3 hits. Nice. Love it. Mark says, reminds me of the 05, 06, and 06, 07 teams they won by committee. Man, those were some fun teams. Some fun teams. Steve, Monster March for Timo again. Yeah, the March of Meyer. Flynn is a big back and drastic. I don't know what that is. David Chimes, neither injuries, cold sticks, or booze face fits loser deadline is going to stop us from securing playoffs and maybe even winning a round. Carolina ain't so badass anymore. Huge win. Beautiful. Michael D and goaltending. I watched this team win 3 cups that way. Let's get it. This is, like, I've been saying it for a little while now. If they could really embrace old school Devils hockey, and that's what it was. A couple of years, one year, I think it was 2001, they led the league in goals, and in 2000, they were second in the league in goals. But the foundation of those teams was always defense and goaltending. Defense and goaltending, and they were a perennial playoff threat. No one wanted to play the Devils in the playoffs. Doug, man, if only this team added significant players to the deadline other than depth, because this team has life and could be a team to make a late push. I totally agree. If Fitz did the exact moves he did at the deadline and then just got like O'Reilly or McCann or, some other player kind of in that stratosphere, I would have said it was an amazing deadline. I wasn't asking for Rantanen or star players, but I do think, the moves he made in conjunction with one O'Reilly or McCann or something in that realm would have really bolstered the team. But hopefully they have the horses in the lineup now to get it done. Joseph says, Devils won, Rangers lost. Woohoo! Yo Holmes, win on Monday is all that matters. Val, if this team keeps playing this way, we could beat the Canes. I definitely believe that. LJ, I would lose my mind if we beat the Canes in the playoffs, as would I. They're one of my most hated teams. Obviously, the Rangers will forever be number 1, but the Canes are in probably my top 3. I might even hate them more than the Flyers at the moment, just because all the old school history with the Flyers, they've never really stung us badly as much as the Canes have. Jim, crazy that Bratter is 9th all time in points and he's like 26. He's the real MVP this year. Mr. Consistency, our best offensive forward for the past 3 seasons. Nearly a point a game guy, plays almost every game. He's been a monster for a while and definitely one of the most underrated players in the league. Rich Reynolds, Cotter's our best breakaway finisher by far. So glad that was him tonight and not Jack. Filthy Mitts Paulie. Yeah, if only the rest of our team was half as good on breakaways as Paulie. It's unbelievable how good he is in tight. Meadowlander, beating the Canes in a series would require platooning goaltenders. They love to wear down with tons of shots on goal. Nah, I'm not a platoon goalie guy. I don't like it at all. Samuel, that was the best team game in a long time. Joe Cade, literally 5 seconds before Timo scored, about 6 fans in my section, including myself, were killing him. Apropos timing. It really was. Timo time. Walt, my biggest concern with facing Carolina in the first round, other than winning the round, is coming out of that series beat up and exhausted. That's what happened after beating the Rags' dead legs. It's playoff hockey. Got to adjust. Sink or swim. A lot of games in a short period of time, and it's war. Val says Allen could play a game or two in a 7-game series. I would hate to see that. Playing multiple goalies in the playoffs, I would just hate it. Mechanicsville 804, Timo is playing so well. Ariel, my friend invited me to the Islanders-Rangers game, and I came proudly wearing my Jack Hughes jersey. Cause chaos. I love it. Let's go Devils. I like the move. I like it. Michael, a bit more puck luck for Timo, and no one would be saying, boo, this guy's a beast. Tell him, Michael. Tell him. They're just looking for the goals, and when they don't come, unfortunately, the haters love to pile on. I've been fighting them off all season long. It's been an exhausting task, and I've been doing it all season long, and I will continue to do so. But the March of Meyer is underway. Nicole Meyer, madness. Yo, Holmes, I'm not scared of this Carolina team. Nope. This could be our time to get revenge, man. How nice it would be if we do end up playing them to bounce them. Oh, my God, it'd be great. Serve, we need to start every single game going forward exactly like we did tonight. Urgency. Come out on fire and with urgency. You see the difference, and they play different when they have the lead, and the other team is forced to play different. It is so crucial for this Devils club to get the lead and play with a lead, especially a multi-goal lead. John Fay, I for one had a weird feeling about these lines tonight, but after witnessing what we saw tonight, I would think he keeps these lines for Thursday and Saturday. I would think so. Rich Reynolds, hit the like for Ace and a Devils win, you Goombas. Thank you. Hit the like for your boy and for your New Jersey Devils. Go Boro, when Ace put SST in the frying pan, I ate the caramelized bits of it. Now I'm a full burnt out pity anger, but Timo time? What? Oh, man. Steve, that hit that Luke took at the end of the game was scary. Olivier ran him big time. Yeah, he was kind of wincing. I was like, oh, shit, I hope his shoulder didn't pop out. Yeah, he got rocked. And it seemed like he was definitely laboring a little bit afterwards. David Chimes, Timo is capable of a 40-40 season. I get why people demand that and agree he should be right-wing power play 1. Love his grit and D. Listen, I'm happy with 30-30. Obviously, I would love 40-40. You know, the more the merrier. Shit, give me 50-50. But being realistic, 30-30 is a pretty solid season for him considering all of the other things that he does. Now, he's obviously going to come quite short of that this year in terms of total points. But, again, he's on his off wing. He's not getting power play 1. And the reality is his production is going to suffer a little bit. Alex says, Ace finding loopholes. It's not a loophole. It's not a loophole at all. It's the fact, Alex. What are you going to do? B, happy to be there tonight. I saw a team rise to the moments. We have fight in this group. Absolutely. Yo, Holmes, Rod is good, but there's a reason no one wants to sign long-term in Carolina. I just think it's because it's Carolina. I don't think it has anything to do with Rod Brindamore. I just think it's like Carolina is not super desirable place to live for a lot of guys, Mikko Rantanen included. That was a crazy scenario. Wild. He straight up told Brindamore, Rantanen told Brindamore that I'll only sign with 4 teams and you're not one of them. How did their GM not find out about that before they traded for him? What a misstep. Said Jets fan, Timo tonight, 1 goal, 6 shots, 3 hits, big-time performance. Love it. Pulp Mystic, the PP looked tremendous tonight. BJs are a little soft on D for sure, but still impressive. Nicole, the energy I saw from the team tonight is the energy I want to continue to consistently witness from them. I would love to see that as well. Got to keep it going. Wolf Rock and Ace, I'm definitely not a doomer, but I still believe our best goalie is 100% Dawes. Small sample size, but he hasn't let in more than 1 goal a game plus a shutout. I don't get it. He's unproven, man. I believe in him as the future, but they're not going to just make him the starter out of nowhere. He's the 3rd-string goalie. He's not even the 1B guy right now. I think his time will come. There's a good chance it's next year, but, you know, riding him into the playoffs is a risky proposition. Chris, anyone not getting this superior play Timo brings every game is moronic. He's the lead agitator on the club now, and he constantly wins hard battles game in and game out. We want more goals, but enjoy. Right there with you, sir. Right there with you. Ernad, sick win tonight. Going to my first Devils game April 5th against the Rags. Driving there from Massachusetts. Is the traffic nutty on game day? Should I get there considerably in advance to game start? Is that let me just take a quick peek here. I think is that an afternoon game? Yeah, it's a 12:30 game. So doors will open at, wait, I just forgot what I said. I said 12:30. So doors will open at 11. So I would plan to get there around there. But you're coming from far away, so there's a lot of variables. And it is a Saturday, is that? And it's a Saturday. Yeah, depending on where you are in Massachusetts, my man, I would leave at like 6 a.m. to be safe. I've gotten stuck in some murderous traffic in Connecticut. Garrett, Ace, love the roundtable discussion you did. Thanks for great Devils content. Seems like the boys might be getting hot at the right time. Let's go Devils. Yeah, glad you enjoyed it. If you're just popping in here, I mentioned it before, but I did a roundtable discussion last night with Daniel Moya, Trey Matthews, Sam Wu. Check it out on the channel. It's on there from last night. Woodson, Fitz only needs to find 2 more glass in the offseason. Lobster, I just got back from the game. It was electric. It almost felt like a playoff game. I don't know about all that, but it was a pretty good atmosphere, I would say. Listen, winning finally, winning helps everything. Winning helps all. Player morale, fan morale, the atmosphere at the Rock. Lobster, that race was more hyped up than the game. Yeah, people really went nuts for the cookie. Interesting stuff. Insane Pollock scratch Bastion for Sprung next game. Supposed to say Sprung. I could see that happening, but for whatever reason, it seems like Bastion always finds his way into the lineup. So, Op 40, Rangers 22. We need more of Timo, the junkyard dog Meyer. Timo, I love Timo. One of our toughest forwards. Michael, yo, Ace, did you see Jesperbratt give a stick away when he was going back to the locker room? I did not catch that, actually. I think I started to walk out right after he finished talking to Rachel, so I didn't, on the ice, I didn't, keep my eye on him, but that's cool that he gave his stick away. Mechanicsville, chill out. Prices were too high for a top 6 player. So glad he didn't overpay and can wait until the offseason when prices come down. Loser mentality, Mechanicsville. I'll never agree with it. We knew we needed a top 6 for months now. You can't ignore the need for a top 6 and then say the prices were too high. Sorry, not buying it. Don't care. You had to bring in a top 6. I'm not saying necessarily at the deadline, but a top 6 should have been obtained. Furthermore, there were guys out there that I think you could have had for a reasonable price with term that wouldn't have been a pure rental. And so I personally just will never be on board with that kind of logic or reasoning. Not for me. Cisco Kid, 95 team was trap D. Let's get back to that. Everyone plays a D game and scores opportunistically. Okay. I'm not mad at that. Woodson says, let Ottawa bounce one of the top seeds. That would be nice. Searle, is there 0 chance Hughes returns in the postseason, or has it been reported that it can't happen? No, he's done for the year. They're saying he'll be ready for training camp. So you're talking about, there's 0 chance of him playing in the playoffs. He's done. Colin, why can't we have March Meyer all season? It would be nice, right? For whatever reason, once we get late in the season, that's when he turns it on. Woodson, playing multiple goalies saved our asses against the Rangers. Goalies get a short leash in the playoffs. I would only play multiple goalies if someone struggled. And in that series, Vanacek looked terrible. And so Akira Schmidt had to come in and be the hero. But it's not like, Vitek played good and they're like, oh, let's just give Schmidt a start for no reason. I mean, obviously, if a goalie's struggling, then you change goalies. But going into it as like a tactic, if you will, to use multiple goalies, I think is ridiculous. Stanley, you guys are high on Hopium. Carolina is going to turn it up come game 83. That's an extremely difficult team to play against. For sure it is, but it would be absolutely beautiful to take them out. Would love to take him out. Devil Heaven, I love Luke, but simple stop the turnovers. Yeah, he had a couple bad ones tonight. He did like a very lazy kind of pass in the D zone that led to, it actually was the sequence, I believe, that led to the Cotter penalty in the first period. It was just like a very lazy kind of just laid the puck there. I guess he was trying to get it to, I don't even remember who, but he was trying to get it to somebody close by him, and it was a very lazy pass, ill-advised, and it ended up with the Blue Jackets sustaining pressure in our D zone, and then Cotter took that penalty. Lobsty, I think they did good, but they need to work on not just looking at them pass it around and let them score. I don't know what that means. I think they did good, but they need to work on not just looking at them pass around and let them score. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Faye, all right, I'm going to head out early. I was at the game, and my voice is almost completely shot. Big win tonight. Hopefully they can keep the momentum going into the rest of this week and into next week. Absolutely. Amagi, thank you for the super chat, sir. Mrs. Fields with the huge dub. Let's go Devils. Cotter, silky mitts. It is crazy how loud, and it'll be in the vlog tomorrow for anyone interested. I'll have the clip of, like I said, the race and then the people going nuts after the cookie won. But, everyone rallied behind Mrs. Fields. But thank you, Amagi. The cookie really got people excited. Mark, let me guess. The Rangers are one of the 4 teams on Rantan's list. Hard eye roll. I don't think they ever actually revealed what the list was. Searle, I think Meier is built for the playoffs, and games in March and beyond are much more playoff-like, especially the playoffs. Absolutely. The ice gets smaller. It's a little bit more of a grind, a little more physical of a game. And that is all kind of in Timo's, specialty. Cody Skills, I was on the M&M Zamboni tonight. That's awesome. Richard, to quote Lou, you play for the crest on the front, not the name on the back. Timo's doing just that. And let's get your buddy Joe a Timo jersey. Searle, I wonder how many different dessert race clips are kept. I doubt they make a new video for every home game. That is interesting. That'd be a question for the production team. It might not be that hard to make a bunch of different ones. Brett B, I think I'm going to miss those black jerseys, I think. I wonder if there will be a nostalgia for them in like 15, 20 years. Of course they will. They were around for several seasons. There'll always be nostalgia for them. I'm hoping the new alternates could be better. The black jerseys did grow on me over time, but I'm not a huge fan of them. I do think they could have been much better with a few tweaks, but I am very curious to see what the next alternates end up being. I will hold that hope that it's something cool. Mark, Ace, did you ever watch WWF in the 90s? Remember Booger Bastion? Big, fat, gross wrestler that wore a skin tone singlet. I did watch it probably in the mid to late 90s, but I don't remember him. Jason says, imagine we actually added a big piece at the deadline. It would be nice, but here we are. Hopefully these guys could bring us on a run. Jack McCabe, big sack win, another big game versus the Oil on Thursday. They just lost to Buffalo, so they're going to be pissed. Going to have to match their intensity. Let's go. Win a 3rd game in a row. Oh, man. It would be nice. Snow, I would have loved Dylan Cousins. Well, yeah, I think Price were 2 at the deadline, but it's been clear for months that NJ needed a couple of guys, and it should have been done well before the deadline when it wouldn't cost as much. Fully agree. Vic, just entered the chat. Nice W by the boys. Hope we get the Oil on Thursday. Smash that thumbs up. Let's go Devils. Thanks. Hit the thumbs up. Don't be stingy. Don't be stingy. Davin. The reason why we don't get March Meier is because they don't play him in his normal position. It is maddening. It is absolutely maddening. But he finds his way to the right side a lot. So, let him just naturally gravitate there. Zetterlund would have been nice. I absolutely agree. Rich Reynolds, getting Zetterlund back would have been nice. That guy plays like a bulldog. Yeah, he's a monster. Alex Keefe said big win for Mrs. Fields. Cotter was also happy. I did find it interesting that that they mentioned it. I guess everybody was aware of the drought that the cookie was in. David Chimes says season MVP right now, Nico, Bratt, or Markstrom. You can make a case for all 3 of them for sure, and all 3 are definitely worthy candidates. Along with Jack Hughes up until the injury, obviously. I gave it to Markey. We talked about this in the roundtable chat video that I talked about that we did last night, but I would give it to Markey, but I definitely think, the other guys are worthy as well. but I personally gave it to Markey just because he was keeping us in games and getting wins back in December and January that we would have never had without him. Vic, is the jersey officially gone after this year? That's what I heard. That's what I've heard. Devil Heaven, hey Ace, what is the status on the stadium jersey rights, etc.? I don't know. What does that mean? The stadium, what do you mean by that? The stadium jersey rights? I don't know what that means. Richard Ace, switching gears, you haven't seen it. Check out the Duran versus Barkley fight from 89, a close second to Gotti Ward 1. I'll have to check that out. Blackatron, great job on the roundtable last night. I'm not alone in saying I really enjoyed watching it. Well, thank you for that, Blackatron. Appreciate that. It was fun to, talk to other Devils guys and kind of get their viewpoints on different topics. So it was definitely fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad that you did. Devil Heaven, favorite jersey in Devils history is a stadium jersey. I'm not mad at that. Mine is the old school classic white with the stripe on the bottom. That'll forever be my favorite, but the stadium series is right up there. Beachmaster says Bratt MVP, certainly worthy. Benjamin, weird hockey karma also counts. Go Cookie. Pulp Mystic, Cousins would have cost a Mercer-type player. Really wanted a top 6 guy. A Zetterlund, O'Reilly, McCann, Donato, or even Cosmento. Fitz needed to find a way. Fully agree. And we saw what Zetterlund went for. He could have slotted into our top 6 better than what we had. And so I'm with you. There is no excuse. You got to find a way. And Zetterlund would have been a nice grab. Insane Pollock, Rantanen is the definition of what Fitz meant when he said no dickheads. Damien, yo, Ace, remember when I said the black jerseys are cursed? Yeah, me neither. Great win tonight. Somehow this season we have a lot of wins with them. By the way, my TCNJ home jersey is a white version. Nice. Diva says, is Cody Glass going to lead us to the cup? I hope he's part of the team that wins a Stanley Cup here in New Jersey. I don't see how he's going to be the one leading us to the cup, but a great start for him thus far. 3 points in his first 2 games as a Devil. Very good start for the young man. Brett B, I wonder if that Mrs. Fields cookie could slide in for Hall next game. You guys are brutal. Paulie Walnuts just got back from the game, and yes, I was entertained. Can't believe how excited people got over the Mrs. Fields race. She was even in a bigger slump than Halla. Yeah, winless on the season. Who would have thought a winless dessert would have gotten so much love on the arena scoreboard? But Mrs. Fields, one of the biggest ovations of the evening. Jay Snow says, I would have drove Mercer to Buffalo for Cousins. Let's check the out-of-town scoreboard here. Caps up, Islanders down. Bruins up on the Panthers. Senators beat the Flyers. Pens won in OT. Hurricanes won. Rangers lose to the Jets. Oof. What a shame. What an absolute shame. Yeah, the Rangers might be choking out of it, huh? They were right there, but now they are. Yeah, wow. They are 2 points behind Columbus, and Columbus has a game in hand. It's going to be an amazing finish to this NHL season. Rangers lost again. Yes, they did. Amagi saw a bootleg Stadium Series jersey today with the Fanatics logo on the back. Painful to see. Oh, man, the Rock is filled with them. I mean, what are you going to do? You're such a jersey snob now, Amagi. Pointing out all the Fugazi DH Gate specials. Come on. Huge win. Devil Evans, a Stadium jersey. Can we wear this in the games in the future? No, the Stadium Series jersey is done. Done. Completely done, the Stadium Series jerseys. Never to be seen again. Jay Snow, we need another score since January. Anybody? Completely agree there as well. Richard, took you up on the Cam interviews. You did great stuff. He's a pisser and loved that he was dipping and honked it out in a bottle. That's Cam. Yeah, thanks for watching. Cam, great guy, great personality, great stories. There's one more part, the third part of the Cam interview I'm hoping to get out soon. I'm just bogged down with a bunch of stuff, but the Cam interview the third part will be coming out soon. If you haven't seen the first two parts yet and you are an old school fan or just curious about Cam Jansen, check out those interviews that are there on the channel as well. You could go to the interview kind of playlist. Jay Snow, we could have even tried a guy off waivers. Fitz did nothing. Doug, he's not a player, but I feel Keefe has been a steady presence at head coach of this group. At least he believes in the group still. Yeah, and for the people knocking him, I think he's done a pretty damn good job with a less than ideal roster. I mean, listen, we had to play Palat with Jack and Bratt. He was on that line all year. Our bottom six has kind of, disappeared for most of the season. And here we are in a battle in a playoff spot. Devil Heaven Ace, can we still purchase a Stadium Series jersey, Adidas, or is it Fanatics? No, it was Adidas jersey. It was last year. And the only way you could buy it is if you find someone selling one online, which I'm sure you can find. But they're not available from, retail outlets anymore. They were short, very limited edition, sold out immediately. They didn't make enough of them. The whole release of the Stadium Series jerseys, quite frankly, was a complete disaster. But they are, in fact, Adidas, and you can find them if you search online. SJ says, surprise, Timo scores from the right. Mike, only negative today is we helped the Rangers today by beating the Blue Jackets. I mean, we helped ourselves, first and foremost. It's going to help the Rangers as a byproduct, but who cares? David Chimes, CBJ slaps Rags down. We slap CBJ down. CBJ yet to prove they can win on the road. Third spot looking safe. Don't count your chickens, my man. Do not count your chickens because in the blink of an eye, things could change. Mark, I see the refs tried to screw us again by not calling an icing. I want to go back and rewatch that. I think Keefe was freaking out about it. Mike, how do you currently feel we match up against Carolina? I mean, historically, they've owned us. But I'm hoping this new identity Devils, with the new additions in the lineup, and playing a new brand of Devils hockey, heading into the playoffs, that we could kind of get our feet under us at the right time and kind of get in a groove and somehow knock them out. In Markey, we trust. Markstrom is the great X factor, in my opinion. Our defense has been pretty stout all season long, and if they could keep it up, it'd be great to finally get some nice payback on the Canes. Rangers suck. SJ says Rags weren't beating the Jets. Let's be real. Davin, I'm a big fan of the reverse retro green jerseys and those Utica Comets black jerseys the Devils should have got. The Utica Comets black jerseys are sick. I'm going to pull something out. I'm going to do a quick show and tell. Not really a show and tell, but just because we're talking about it, and some of you guys might not be familiar with them, I'm going to pull out some jerseys. If I can find them. Hold on. These are buried deep in the closet. I got to go digging deep. A deep dig. Now that we're talking about jerseys, you guys know I love the jersey talk. This is the Utica. Oh, shit. I better not hit nothing. This is the black Utica jersey, I think, that he's talking about. This thing is just stellar. Sick black jersey. The red pops beautifully. Nice red collar. It might be hard to see. I don't want to knock anything here because I'll knock the whole thing off. You see the blacked out Devils logo on the side. You got the nice white and black stripes on the sleeve. You got it on the hem as well. I do love this jersey. This is absolutely beautiful. Love the Utica black. But this is the jersey, and I've showed this before. For all you old school fans, this should be the next alternate jersey. This jersey is absolute perfection. This was a starter jersey that came out in the mid to late 90s. Classic Devils logo, obviously. You got the red shoulders. You got the beautiful white and red stripe on the sleeve, and you got it on the bottom. This is absolute perfection, And this should be the next alternate jersey or something very close to this. It doesn't need to be this exactly, but it's got to be something damn close. This jersey is straight fire. Fire. Something just like this should be the next one. I hope it is, but I'm sure we'll get some kind of overproduced, over-designed nonsense. But that jersey is just sick. Absolutely beautiful. I didn't see it. Don't know if you saw my comments. Miko's 4 were Panthers, Stars, Golden Knights, and Leafs. Very interesting. Is that confirmed? Benjamin, Keith not perfect, but improvising as best he can. I'll take it at the moment. For sure. Knowles, damn, you guys are still up. What a game today. Some relief. Love the Stadium Series jerseys have one. Wait, is it bad luck to wear them to games? I don't think so. Paulie Walnut, speaking of jerseys, a guy in front of me at the game tonight was wearing a Red Devils jersey with the name Walnuts on the back. That's interesting. Chico, up next is an Oilers team that even with Jack are better than the Devils this year. If they could grind out a win on Thursday, I'll be back aboard the Believer train 100%. From one game, Chico, that's all it takes. One game, you're putting all that stock in one game? Okay, I'll accept it. Mike K, agree. As a lifelong Devils fan, Carolina is my least favorite team aside from Philly and the Rangers. Absolutely despise them. Absolutely. Richard says, Pesci scores OT winner to end the series against the Canes. That would be nice. Insane Pollock, Greer would have never traded Zetz back to us with him having been a part of the Meier trade. I don't think there's any correlation there. If we gave him what he was asking for, what the hell would he care? Why would that be the case? SJ, so they're making a new jersey if they retire the black one, right? I think that I believe has to be what it means. Priceless jersey. Mike K, all old school Devils fans know that jersey. You're 100% right. I've been saying it for years. I miss Starter, by the way. What a great jersey that is. I like that Starter jersey. Ted, I want the Devils stripe back on the jersey. Yeah, like this one. This is an old school. This is my old school Marty. This is a 03. And it's got the nice stripe on the bottom. It's just a beautiful little design element. Dr. Brian, did you attend the game today? Ace was there today in Section 4, and oh, man, it was great. I was at the game today. Beautiful, beautiful game. Luke, I love that I play hockey, and this show is still going at 11:22. Big win, big guns came to play. Let's go Devils. Rich, the black jersey with the Stadium Series logo would be sick. Army, that Starter 90s black jersey is the best Devils jersey they've never had and never used in a game. It's a shame. I completely agree. I remember when I was a kid and it came out, I was like, the Devils need to wear this. This is phenomenal. This is a beautiful, beautiful jersey. Mark started at a few teams in black. I had a blues like that. Doug, they could use a jersey rebrand. Chico, either way, they got to get at least 2 wins of this next 3. Would sacrifice SST to the heathen volcano gods for a 5-game streak right here. Oh, man. It would be something else. Devil, I like the Lowell Devils jersey. Look that up. I have Lowell Devils jersey, you said? Hold on 1 second. We might have one of those on hand, too. Give me a second, guys. I got jerseys coming out the ears over here. I don't have a Lowell jersey. My Lowell jerseys are not accessible at the moment. I have one, but it's not accessible. But this is a Binghamton Devils jersey. Little Binghamton when the Devils played in Binghamton, New York. And then they had this crazy kind of shoulder patch with a pitchfork. But I always like the Binghamton Devils, a little creepy-ish logo, but I like that one too. But the Lowell Devils is sick. I thought I had one on the rack over here. It's not accessible. Ted, I was at the game. The Stadium Series jersey was goated. Chico, I'm putting stock in one game. It'll be a 3-game winning streak, and it's a big win over a good team. Granted, they're slumping, but that team is always dangerous. Agree. Completely agree. Yeah, I don't know what the point of getting rid of the stripe was. I was always a big fan of the stripe. Would love to see it brought back. I think a lot of people would. I'm curious as to, what goes behind decisions like that. Like what was the point of getting rid of it? I don't know. Jay Snow, back-to-back games as a start. Imagine the elusive 4-gamer. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. A 4-game win streak in this little stretch right now would be absolutely beautiful. Husky, I've got that starter black jersey kitted with Eliash on it. So sick. Get nonstop compliments on it. Very nice. Pete, the Devils alt jersey should be a reverse stadium series. Oh, that would be sick. I would love to see that. I think Backhanded Devil, if you guys Backhanded Devil, I did a video on it forever ago now, but Backhanded Devil makes awesome concept jerseys, and before the stadium series, he had a jersey made that was one of his concepts was very close to the stadium series jersey, and I believe he did have one that was basically a reverse version, where the jersey was black with the red. It was sick. But check him out on X and wherever, Instagram, Backhanded Devil. And if you're not following your boy, follow me on X and Instagram. I'm going to be doing, it's long overdue. I still got to get my shit together, but it'll definitely happen soon. I'm going to do a monster giveaway, but some of it will be on different platforms. But you can follow me at runninwithNJD on X. Even though I don't love X, I'm trying to become a little more active on there, as well as the other platforms. But I'm going to start doing some stuff on all these things. So follow your boy on X. I just put the I put the link in the chat for that. And the Instagram. I'll put the link for that too. Follow your boy everywhere. There's going to be giveaway. The giveaway show is going to be sick. I'm still working on the details of all that. It'll be happening soon. Wolf Rock and Ace, you have some amazing jerseys, my friend, but the big question is, are you willing to sell any of them, buddy? I probably will be selling a bunch of jerseys at some point soon. I have some, like, you know, doubles and different kinds that I've upgraded. I thought about doing a live stream about it, or possibly just a regular recorded video. I don't know, but I will be selling, but they're going to be expensive because most of them are game worn jerseys. So I don't know if you're in that realm. But a lot of the jerseys, I will be purging some game worn jerseys soon with either duplicates or ones that I upgraded. Ted, how about Mrs. Fields finally winning? Yeah, we talked about that. Mike, even though I hate them, maybe the jerseys are what they should wear this playoffs because they have good energy in them. Can't believe Marty designed those. I mean, do you think Marty, he had a little input? It's not like Marty drew it up and was like, here's the jersey. Brendan, running with the Devils closet tour video, please. I thought about doing something like that. I have if you're just counting jerseys I wear, if I'm not talking about like game worn jerseys, just jerseys and hoodies and jackets and shit that I wear, I kind of have in a bunch of different places. I mean, if people are really interested in that, maybe I will do like a Devil's wardrobe video of some kind one day, but I need to get them all kind of consolidated. I have shit all over the place, and so I'm slowly kind of getting it all in one spot, but it's just overwhelming. I probably still have some at my mother's house somewhere as well. I have to go on a manhunt, but I got them in closets. I have a rolling rack. I got shit everywhere. I am trying to organize. Luke says in the next 3, just beat Columbus and Pittsburgh. I'll be happy with that. I mean, that's a pretty good start. Lovell Devils is indeed a throwback. Husky Unchained started 3 versions of that jersey. One was just black with red stripes, as opposed to with the white. I don't recall seeing that. That was the thing. It was just black and red, no white. My computer's kind of slow right now. Army, the Utica red, white, and green jersey is metal AF. That one's cool too. Benjamin had a killer Albany River Rats jersey years ago. No clue what happened to it. Love the Rats. The stripe tied the room together. Ted, woo, peed on the rug. Devil Heaven, I'm a half hour from bingo. Very nice. Grew up with the Binghamton Whalers. Chico, hockey's so mental and emotional that if they could manage a 5-game win streak, I really think that despite Jack being out, they could put together a nice playoff run. Maybe not quite Eastern Conference Finals, but close. Devil Heaven had season tickets to our Binghamton Devils buddy. Very nice. Very, very nice. Ryan Fisher, they make little tweaks so people buy the newest version jersey. You guys know this stuff. Yeah. M. Sharp says no stripes is a more slimming look. Mark Ace, have you ever seen any of the Cardiff Devils jerseys? I have. Chico, remember the Canes have been weird lately too and just lost Natchez and then Ranton, and they're hurting and looking for an off-season move too. All right. My buddy Goody, the Adirondack Thunder did a jersey last season that combined the logo with a Viking or Thor, the horns on top, and the devil's tail going through the beard. Honestly, the coolest shit ever. I did see that. Very, very cool jersey. S.J. Keefe is a magician navigating the stretch. No prolonged losing streaks. Mike K., who was your all-time favorite Devils backup goalie? I might go with Beezer or Schwab. Mike Dunham may be most underrated. That would be my 3. You know, my immediate 3 would be in no particular order, would be Beezer, Corey Schwab, Dunham, and then like Scott Clemenson would probably be like number 4 for me. But my top 3 in no particular order would at that. And I forgot Chris Terreri's got to be in there too. And I'll go Clemmer. So I guess if I'm going top 5, again, no particular order, I'm going Terreri, Schwab, Dunham, Beezer, Clemenson. That would be my 5. Army, we should just rock the 80s jerseys in red, white, and black. I didn't say that. I'm just saying a lot of people are not aware of what the game-worn jersey market, what they are. Game-worn jerseys are a different, different echelon of item. Amagi, I'd like to see them play in the reverse retro 1.0 since the full kit really pops on the ice. Ace, how would you feel about Marty taking a step back and becoming our goaltending coach when Yags comes up? Sometimes great players do not make great coaches, but I'd like to see him try. I think in his current role, Marty should work with the goalies a little bit, but I don't think he really wants to be that involved. I think that is kind of a grind and a pain in the ass. I think Marty has, he's talked about it on Cam Jansen's podcast, Cam and Strick. If you haven't seen it, check out that episode. I've talked about it. But he kind of has like a fairly cushy job, and I think that's what he wants. I'm not mad at him for it. Who wants to kind of bust their ass and grind it out when you're older and don't need to. So, but I would love to see him, at least from time to time, work on the ice with some of the goalies. And I do believe Mikhail Yegorov is going to be the next franchise goaltender for the Devils, if I had to guess. Mark, I never cared much for the material the starters are made of. I'll take mesh or pro player any day. Oh, Mark, the best jersey ever is the CCM Ultra Fills. Are absolutely beautiful. Mike, hey, grew up with the NJ Rock and Rollers and the Metro Stars. All right, you guys got me. You guys are making all these references. Hold on. Let me go to the magical closet. Hold on, guys. Maybe I won't do a video, but I might just peel out a couple here and there. Yeah, what you know about the New Jersey Rock and Rollers, baby? What a jersey this is, huh? For those of you that remember this, look at this thing. My God, this is sick. Whew. Fire. Straight fire. New Jersey Rock and Rollers. What? What a beautiful jersey, huh? So funky. Love the Rock and Rollers. Love the Rock and Rollers jersey. Got one of those in the closet, obviously. Let me see. Richard, 5 greatest American hockey players. Here are mine: Madonna, Leach, Richter, Chelios, and Hull. It's a pretty good list. I mean, I can't really argue. I think at one, I feel like even now, you might have to push Richter out for Patrick Kane, if I'm being honest. I mean, how do you not have Patrick Kane on there? I think you have to have Patrick Kane on a top 5 American list. Damien, honestly, I grew up with Hedberg. Wasn't the greatest, but nice. We got him and Covey. Hedberg would probably be my next one on the list, probably right after Clemmer. But Clemens had 2 different stints with us. So I remember him from back in the day, and he was here for, let me see. Yeah, from 01 to 07. He went to Toronto for a year, then he came back for 08, 09, and played really well when Marty went down with that injury before he came back from injury and broke the NHL all-time wins record. Oh my God, I'm sorry. He technically had 3 stints with us. And then he played 3 games in 14-15. That is pretty wild. 3 stints. Blackatron, my favorite was T-Bone, Chris Terreri. Yeah, he's definitely in my top 5. I think Hedberg, Mark, is right outside of my top 5. David, Craig Billington, my favorite Devils backup. He's a little bit before my time. Chico, I'm not saying any of this, bro. Chico, you're an ass. I'm just trying to tell people, like, to warn them, like, game-worn jerseys is a different thing. Very, very different. Oh, yeah, Terreri, good call. Stanley, no waist stripe in the modern jersey is actually a good thing. All the teams with horizontal waist stripes, the front of the jersey is perfectly horizontal while the stripes are curved in the back. Luke says Terreri, Beezer, Schwab, Clemmer, Dunham. That's my list, Luke. Exactly. I didn't give an actual order, but those are my 5 for sure. Mark says, Chico, you don't got to be a baller to collect gamers. Just got to be patient. Jason, it was nice to see the Devils come out with a lot of energy in that first period for a change. Yeah, we've seen a lot of sleepy first periods. And one of the keys to the game tonight, I said, we got to come out flying, and flying they did. Your New Jersey Devils getting it done. Getting it done big time. And came out flying. Jumped on him and got that early lead. Army, any chance Gritsuk plays for us this year? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's a next year situation. Mike K, that's the best jersey. Props to you for having that. Chico, oh man, if I got my hands on a gamer, I don't know whose it was. I would treat that thing like an ancient Egyptian artifact. Doug, do you have the white and green alternates from 2021? Are you talking about the reverse retro one? The all green? Chris, oh yeah, that was roller hockey. I remember watching that. Luke, Rock and Rollers had a 3-day open tryout back in the day. Very nice. Chico, yo, that Rock and Rollers jersey is a work of art. Nice piece in the collection there. Big Ben, hey Ace, I just want to say you're right. To all the people crying when Jack Hughes got hurt and Ace said we're not the New Jersey Hughes, now you see what we mean. Yeah. If you think one guy is the whole team, then shame on the team. And we were not that team. And now they're slowly finding a new identity without Jack Hughes. And the New Jersey Devils are now embracing a playoff-style hockey going into the playoffs. It could be a very deadly combination. And if we finish this stretch strong and ride into the playoffs high, we are going to be a tough out for any team. Yeah, Mike K, Patrick Kane got to be in there. Army, Rock and Rollers, you got a Hitman jersey too. I do not have a Hitman jersey. SJ Cam Squires looks good. Yeah, I wonder how far away he is from actually playing in the league. He's still super young. I think he's 19. I think he's going to have a good look in this league at some point in the not too distant future. My buddy Goody, yo Ace, I always hear about Devils players that you love, but have there been any players that left the team that you grew to hate? Like permanently or like briefly? I hated Scott Gomez and Bobby Holik when they left, and it lasted for a few years. I mean, I love them again. Over time heals all wounds. Shout out to Gomer and Bobby Holik. You guys broke our hearts, but I love you both. Scott Gomez, Bobby Holik, both left to go to the Rangers. Super painful. Stanley, there can't be many roller hockey league jerseys out there anymore. I imagine, over time, they all kind of end up in long-term collections, I should say. And stuff becomes harder to find. That's kind of the name of the game and how it goes. Chris says, agree. Kane has to be on any American list. Wild Rock and Rollers jersey. Mark, nothing beats mesh, though. I've had an Avs, Oilers, and even Rags mesh. They're very nice. SJ says, Kane has to be first to me. Stanley Terreri is the best backup in NJ history without question. Dude was also a blast to watch play. Brandon, I think Timo needs to be super glued. Well, Jack ain't come back till next year, but yeah, Timo needs to be on power play 1. Chico, I remember that 08-09 season. Marty went down. Then Weeks was shaking. I thought the season was over until Scotty Clem from the top rope. Jay Snow, I couldn't believe how bad we are off the rush. This year was 31st. Couldn't believe how bad we are off the rush. This year we're 31st in the league in rush goals. Was that real? You know who I miss? Colin White. Love me some Colin White. Jay Snow, also bad at slot chances, which is a big reason we need more size to get to the inside more. We've just been on a historic kind of drought in terms of finishing. Like, tons of chances and just a very, very, very low finishing percentage for whatever reason. Hopefully that can improve over time and we just start getting some greasy goals. Would love to see it. Jay Snow, Timo on the power play has that nice one-time threat, an absolute bomb. When he could rip that from the circle, sick. Yo, Holmes, Chico shouted out Hobby's Deli today. Did he? Hedberg is probably my number 6. M. Sharp, I don't want to see McDavid come flying off the bench with a perfect pass and direct path to our goalie. Someone tie his skate laces together on the bench. McDavid is deadly. Doug, the jerseys I'm referring to were technically our alternate jerseys at the time, and it was the green pants and white jerseys I'm referring to were technically our alternate jerseys at the time, and it was the green pants and white top with red and green stripes. It was shortly lived, but on the ice they were clean. Are you talking about are you referring to what they called, I believe, the Heritage? I think you're talking about the Heritage jersey, white top with, I think it was the Heritage you're talking about. My buddy Goody, my boy Ace is about to complete his transformation and become Ace the hockey guy. Covers entire man cave back wall in jerseys. No, I just keep him in my closet. I'm trying to think. Is there any other interesting jerseys that I have accessible? No, I just remember them as people say them. So, Mike, why doesn't Chico Resch get more attention these days? I saw him at MSG and had a 20-minute hockey convo with him. The guy's a legend. You should get him on your pod. Stay tuned, my friends. There's a lot in store. Running with the Devils has a lot in store. I am hoping to bring some summer heat for the streets. Looking to bring some summer heat for the streets. Keep your eyes peeled, but in the next soon, I don't know how long, but soon I'll have the part 3 of the Cam Jansen interview coming out. I will have the Jay Pandolfo interview coming out. Always stuff in the works. Chico, we sacrifice the rush for better defense and keep system. That does create a lot of good chances, just different ones. Jay Snow, yeah, it's real. They flash stats during the game. Tom Fitzgerald, for anyone that's new here, Ace is my assistant GM. This guy has so much hockey knowledge. It's crazy. Oh, boy. Jay Snow, our pond hockey isn't the same as it was 2 years ago. Joe, I had a nice combo with Chico tonight as well as Maddie. Class X. Love both those guys. Been in the organization forever. Chico says the other Chico's very nice. He's awesome. Devil's grandpa. Jay Snow, 2 years ago, we were literally all-speed defense optional. Off topic, if Connor McDavid goes cupless for another couple of years, do you see him leaving the Oilers? I don't think so because, he is Canadian. He's in a Canadian market. He is a god there. I think the Oilers are going to be pretty competitive every year that he's there. I'm pretty sure they're going to constantly be tweaking and tinkering, and they should be a competitive playoff team every year he's there. And so I don't see him wanting to leave. My buddy Goody, how old were you when you received your first NJD jersey, and do you still have it? Oh, man, I might have it. Give me one more second. I don't know. Like I said, my shit's everywhere. My very first jersey, guys, it might be accessible. It might be accessible. Let me see. Hold on. I might have it. I saw it not too long ago, but I don't know if it's still where I think it might be. Oh, it is, guys. Oh, it is. Hold on. I'm digging it out. I am shocked that this ever fit my fat ass. But here it is, folks. This is Ace's first ever, and it's filthy. I got to clean it somehow, but there's signatures on it. This is my first ever New Jersey Devils jersey that my parents got me when I was probably 9 or 10 years old. There's a bunch of signatures on it. Let me see if I could put it on the screen here. This is Scott Stevens right here. Oh, it's backwards. This is Scott Stevens. This is Reed Simpson. This is Mike Peluso right there. Kenny Danico there. The ones on the crest are super faded. This one's Mike Dunham up top. Mike Dunham on top. The other ones I can't make out. Stevens, Reed Simpson, Peluso, and Danico I can make out clearly. This is the cheesy what is this? Yeah, CCM. This thing is absolutely filthy. I've been meaning to clean it and frame it. Hopefully the signatures don't come out, but even if they do, I mean, whatever. They're already super faded. But yeah, this thing's disgusting. But yeah, this is my first jersey from about 30 years ago. Holy shit, this is an ancient artifact, and it's gross. I found this recently. I don't even know where it turned up, but I did find it. Jesse, Ace, I love the ADD acid fueled trip that is your podcast. Never change and keep the awesomeness coming. Let's go Devils. Thank you, Jesse. I think. Chico is a treasure. Chico is a legend. The man's been around for eternity. Love talking to him. I talk to him every so often for a couple minutes. I could talk to Chico for days. Brandon Thomas, got to see if you could somehow fish a Tom Fitz interview on here. Brandon, be realistic, my guy. Do you think that would ever happen? Come on, man. Richard, my bad. You guys are right. I forgot about Kane. I'd give Madonna the edge over Kane, though, based on stats. But it doesn't have to be Madonna versus Kane. Like, I think if you're being fair about it, Kane versus Richter, I think you got to push Richter off the list. And I love Mike Richter just because of his 1996 World Cup of Hockey when he was stellar for Team USA. SJ, usually there's a guy or two that shoots an insane percentage, but the Devils don't have one. They actually do, but he's not in the lineup right now. His name is Seamus Casey, and he's shooting 44%. Insane. Army, Peace Ace, hit that like button. Hit the button for your boy. Hit the button for your boy. M Sharp, Ace, you should set up a rotating rack of jerseys behind you. Push button stop to display certain ones. I have too many. It wouldn't fit. I don't have a ton of space behind me. Like I said, I have jerseys in like 50 different places. I'm trying to consolidate. Paulie Walnuts, Chico Resch is the OG. I've met him a few times, and he talks to you like you've been the best of friends forever. Great guy. It's so true. Chico, the Oilers have been pretty poorly run in his time there, though. I could see him get sick of it and walking, but if he wants $20 million per for 8 years, I think he stays put. Mike, at Paulie, I agree, but I feel like he gets no press these days. I'm surprised the Devils don't have a Chico Resch night or something. He's OG. Maybe they should retire his jersey. No, Mike, come on. You can't retire his jersey. You got to keep that super special. But there has been a Chico Resch night honoring him like years ago. I do believe he will eventually be in the Ring of Honor one day. SJ, I saw Chico at a game once, but didn't approach. You could 100% approach him. He's super cool. One of the friendliest guys. Him and Dano might be the two friendliest guys in Devils history. RME, Chico should 100% be in our Ring of Honor next year. This might be a crazy question and controversial. Would you take Kreider as a power play net front guy in a third, fourth liner? He's unhappy in New York. Very unlikely. Just a general question. I think there'll be better options out there. I wouldn't be like dead set against it, but I think you could get some better options. Paulie says, I agree with you guys. They should do something for Chico. Ring of Honor would be nice. M Sharp, add spotlights on the rotating jersey rack to the one you stop at so we get a good look. Chico, I got to meet the other Chico and Doc at the intermission of a game in Pittsburgh, actually. They were very nice and took a picture with me. Never forgot it. That was like 15 plus years ago. Yeah. Doc and Chico, both absolute legends. I take him on the second power play net front guy, show him what a real franchise is. Chico, I remember that Chico Resch night. They gave him a boat. Did they give him a boat? I don't remember that. Chico was pretty much a goalie for pretty much every Eastern Conference team. Chico, the other Chico, Kreider has some hard miles on that body that scares me. Luke says, how does Richter make it over Tim Thomas? Look at the numbers. Well, you know how. Richter wasn't on my list, But obviously, you know, anyone associated with that 1994 Rangers Cup team gets like an unrealistic kind of bump up. Like a nice little bump up. Mark, I heard Kreider has 18 goals and 4 assists this season. Is that true? Wow. Yeah, it's pretty underwhelming. Brandon, Ace, I just wanted to let you know that your content has been just outstanding and very good. And very good. Keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome. I'm a debate guy. I love watching debates. Only thing I would like to see. You want like more confrontational? You want like debates? That's interesting. I never thought about that. That's something maybe I could look into. Mike, hey, weirdest player to ever wear a Devils uniform was definitely Jágr. Oh, man, I loved Jágr on the Devils. Having Jágr on the Devils was just such a treat. I always loved him when I was a kid, when he was on the Penguins with that crazy mullet. I had like Jágr street hockey sticks and shit, the Cohos. Always played with him in video games. That flowing mullet of his, him and Mario Lemieux, insane. Completely insane. I loved it. It was quite an era. The 90s was peak everything. I was just having this conversation with my buddy. All sports peaked in the 90s. Everything was just peak 90s. Music, film, all sports. There was nothing like 90s. It was just peak civilization. Civilization peaked in the 90s, hands down.
Come back with you guys. I don't know what the speech was in between periods. I don't know.
I put the link in the description here. Someone asked, I'll get to it. Craig said to do the Devils not put up player post-game interviews any God, I can't read tonight, Craig. Do Devs not put up player post-game interviews anymore? Hard to find. I just dropped the link in the chat to the YouTube videos they put out. I guess it looks like it's Luke, Timo, Cotter, and Keefe were the interviews for tonight. I just dropped the link in the chat, so you could check that out on the Devils YouTube channel. But, yeah, Mike Hay, I freaked out when we got Jágr. Even though he was at the end of his career, he led the team in points that year and was just a treat to watch. Him and Marty were the only things to keep fans engaged in a horrible team. You just knew on a nightly basis that you were watching living legends, all-time greats of the sport. You know, Marty and Jágr, in my opinion, are both easily top 10 NHL players of all time. And to have them both simultaneously on the Devils, like I said, the teams were pretty bad for those couple years. But to have them both on the Devils was a very fun kind of nostalgia overload. And I thoroughly enjoyed it and thoroughly enjoyed Jágr's time here. Met him a couple times while he was with the Devils. Very interesting dude. Always loved Jágr. Always will. Joe, Chico, Larry, and Doc should be the next 3 Ring of Honors. I think Lou should be as well. I put Lou in that kind of group, but we'll see. I don't think Lou they're going to do anything with till he's not working anymore. But the reality is I think Lou is going to work till the day he dies. And that would be tragic if he goes into the Ring of Honor posthumously. I would love for him to be there for it. And I'm not saying that's anytime soon, but if he works forever, I mean, Vince, we done did the thing tonight. Let's go Devs. What a game. My buddy Goody, is your nephew still heavier edge? Is that supposed to be heavier edge or more violent with the wrestling? The whole wrestling thing, I don't know. He's very young and he doesn't love the matches. I think he gets a little spooked with the big crowds and stuff. He's still going to like practices and stuff. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out, if he sticks with it or not. But shout out to my little nephew, little savage. Tom, Chico probably rips on a nice center console. Went out today off Atlantic Highlands. Beautiful day. I'm super jealous. Luke says 94 rags. You mean the Edmonton Oilers South? Walt, I've met and talked to Chico, Dano, and Doc. Every one of them are just absolute best guys. They love the game and the fans. Yep. I've met all of them as well multiple times. All amazing. So when is Frank coming on the live stream? Who's Frank? Mike, hey, Yager was a devil killer, though, so it felt weird. Richard, I'm in the same bowling league as Pesci's father and brother. Get a kick out of the old man. Go see how your brother and Devils are doing on the bar TV. Paulie Walnuts, John McClane for the Ring of Honor. He'll probably eventually get in, but you know, he's not one of the ones that I'm like hard pressed to put in right away, but I think he definitely belongs. Johnny Mack. Stanley Yager's 2014 season was actually really solid. Dude still had game at that time. Benjamin, the 90s, before society discovered its 89% bullshit. Husky, Reebok did 3 different alternate jerseys in black, gray, red. They were called Crosscheck, Black Ice, and Accelerator. What year was that? Luke said 80s through early 2000s, then the internet came. Martin, Tom Fitzgerald is an absolute stable genius. Got the necessary players at bargain basement prices. He's the king of GMs. Oh, my God. What a take that is. I'm just going to leave that up there for a second and move on. My God. Brandon, I really hope we snatched up Cody Glass, and this just turned out to be the perfect team for his play style and thrive here. If he keeps it up, we need to sign him up. Yeah, he definitely could be one of the pieces for, you know, the bottom 6 that definitely needs to be revamped. Mike, Devils media is so light compared to other teams. Tortorella has long pregame and postgame interviews every time. I can barely find Keefe's. It's all on their YouTube channel. Just go to the Devils YouTube channel. I agree that it's kind of lacking, but that's where it's going to be. You know, I wish they did a little bit better job, but, you know, it is what it is. Luke, I love when Yager called out Corey. If he was playing like this earlier in the year, we'd be in the playoffs. I don't remember that. Chico, Yager, Rico, Larson, and Corey Schneider kept me warm during the cold, dark years immediately after the cup run. Yeah, what a couple of years Corey Schneider had here as well. SJ, I was a kid in the 90s, but it seemed more simple back then. Yeah, life was better, man. Everything was better. 90s, peak civilization. Pat, I have the first reverse retro jersey, and I'll be buried in it. I'm convinced they only made 5 of them for the public to buy. They don't even exist on eBay. Yeah, the first reverse retros have just completely dried up. I don't know. And they kind of floated around for a while. And then for whatever reason, in the past couple years, they've become extremely difficult to find. They do pop up every now and then, but you know, they're not very abundant. Super scarce. I was lucky to grab a game worn one of those as well. So I do have a nice reverse retro in the collection, the green variety. Yogs is from Kladno, very close to Patty's hometown of, is it Trebic or Trebich, which is where my mom's from. Very nice. Frank the Tank. Oh, everyone's talking about Frank the Tank. Do you guys want me to try to get Frank the Tank on the show? I mean, if people want to see that, I'll try to make it happen. I will try my best to make it happen. Chico. Dano, I've actually never met before, but I'd love to shake his hand. Not to get too personal, but his struggles in overcoming alcoholism helped me when I was overcoming my own. Okay. Very nice. Rob Wilson, Timo time, bitches. Richard, Ace got to do 3 push-ups and go to bed. Check out that Barkley versus Durant fight. Great job. I'm check it out. Chico, the underlying numbers suggested Glass could do a lot better here, but remember, he's 2 games into his Devils tenure. Yeah, people want to, you know, crown him like, you know, league MVP. Luke, teams winning despite booze face and HBSC. Just imagine if they got a top 6 center. One could dream, man. Mike K. Oh, true. Maybe Corey should have been considered on the backup top 5, but I think maybe we were bitter. He took time from Marty. Yeah, that's true. He should be on there for sure. Well, he wasn't really a backup, actually, though. That's why, yeah, no, he wasn't a backup. He was a starter. Yeah, he was a starter, so I can't count him. Jerry, Ace, what would it take for you to apologize to Fitz and admit he did well at the deadline? Jerry, are you high right now? He did not do well at the deadline, regardless of how these players end up playing. And listen, Glass looks like he could be a player. It's 2 games. He has 3 points. Glove clap. Great start for Cody Glass. I hope he does well. But in the end, regardless of how he ends up playing, the deadline was a failure. It was a failure. I'm sorry, it was. There's no way to sugarcoat it. And so I hope Glass does great, but that does not exonerate Fitz of his deadline day sins of coming in second and putting all his eggs in one basket and whatever other nonsense quotes he came out with. There's no redemption there, Jerry. So nothing could change. Nothing will happen. Nothing will change. Chico, somewhere out there's a parallel universe where Zaka was tutored on a line of Elias, Zaka, Yager. Oh, that line would be filth without Hines sinking him, and who knows what happens from there. That would be something. Trevor! Late to the party. How are you late to the party?
How about those Devils? How about those Devils?
How about those Devils, Trevor? Let's go. Monster victory tonight. Mike K, yeah, Frank would be fun. Good for the stream, too. All right, I'll see what I could do. Tom says, Frank the Tank Complete Sideshow knows nothing about the game. Is that true? I don't really know a lot about him. I've seen a couple little clips, but I've never, religiously looked at his stuff or done a deep dive. Reebok did their blackout jerseys in 07, 08. Chico, just to be clear, I like Glass. I'm cheering for him. I want him to be great. I want him to be so good. Fitz retroactively looks like a genius. I'll never give that credit ever. Sorry. Trevor, how about heavier, edgier, more violent? Jesper, I guess this was Jesperbratt. 63, only player in the NHL with 70 points and 70-plus hits. Very nice. Isles getting bent over right now from LA. Has to be miserable to be a fan of them. And listen, guys, in the end, though, the one thing you can't take away from the Islanders is that in recent times, they've won way more playoff rounds than we have. Say what you want about the Islanders. They made it. Let me just see here. 2018-19, they made it to the second round. They swept the Pens and made it to the second round where they got swept by the Canes. But 18-19, they won a round. 19-20, they made it to the conference finals, which means they won 2 rounds. I actually won 3 rounds because that was the bubble year where they did the qualifier. So now you're at 4 rounds. 2021, they went to the conference finals and won 2 more rounds. About 6 rounds. 6 rounds, missed in 21-22. First round ouster in 22-23. First round ouster in 23-24. Yeah, we're talking about they've won 6 times the amount of rounds we have in the past 7 years. So what are we talking about? Chico, I stand by what I said, that the Devils could win the Cup this year, and I would still want Fitz gone. Doesn't fix his drafting. It doesn't fix him always being too slow. Completely agree. Completely agree, Chico. Spot on. Drafting has been a disaster. Whiffing at Holtz at number 7 is just atrocious. Stillman in the first round, atrocious. And I know it's way too early, but in the end, I'm sorry. You could come back and try to troll me in 10 years from now. I believe both Shane Wright and Logan Cooley were way better picks at number 2 than Shimon Nemitz. It is what it is. Evan, hey, Ace, big win tonight. Yes, it was. Paulie Walnuts at Husky Unchained. The Reebok Black Ice was great. I got a Kovalchuk Black Ice jersey. Why do I not know what this is? Maybe I'll know it when I see it. I just don't know it by name. Black Ice. I'm going to have to look into that. Chico Trotz got so much out of that team and then effed off to ruin Nashville while Lou made the Isles older, slower, and worse. SJ Love Bratter, stud. Jack, Bratt's best ability is his availability. Knock on wood. One of the few, if not the only major high-end piece this team has that can be counted on to play all 82. Mr. Durability. That's what I'm talking about. Mike, I love Lou and the fact that they won with him, but he was way too stubborn about stuff like not having a third jersey. I agree with you, Mike, but let's be realistic. Stanley Cups or marketing gimmicks? Which one will you prefer? I will gladly take no specialty jerseys and hoist cups. 95, Claude Lemieux and Scott Stevens. We got 2000, my man Jason Arnott. And then for the 03 variety, we have the great Martin Brodeur. Evan, I think Fitz rebounded this offseason, but it's not going to make up for his drafting. Hopefully that improves. Mike, you'll know black guys if you Google it. You see them around the rock. Yeah, let me do that. I think I had a sweatshirt or zip up of this. Yeah, okay. I know exactly what this is. Mm-hmm. Tom Fitzgerald, Ace, another off-topic question, but my cousin became a Wings fan in the 90s, and I rooted for them. That when they played NJ, of course. Favorite wing of all time? Oh, man, that's a hard one. I can't pick just one. I'm going to have to go with 4. And one of them ended up playing for the Devils, or played for the Devils multiple times, actually. I'm going to go in no particular order. Brendan Shanahan, love Shanny, obviously started with the Devils, drafted by the Devils as a youngster, and then came back to the Devils at the end of his career. But Shanny, Brett Hull, always loved Brett Hull. Steve Yzerman, who didn't love Stevie Y? And I'm going to have to go Sergei Fedorov. Oh, man, I did like Lidstrom, too. There's a lot of Red Wings players that I did like over the years. Rebs, Ace, do you sweat when Glass performs for fear of how horribly your deadline ran is going to age? No, even if Glass ends up being great, that doesn't mean that his deadline was good. That is an underwhelming acquisition regardless. It does not vindicate him in any way whatsoever. Now, if he had gotten O'Reilly, McCann, a piece like that in conjunction with Glass and Sprong, I would have been ecstatic. But if that is your main attraction and you're going to sit here and try to talk smack about when he performs, how my rant is going to age, my rant is going to age just fine. That was to come out with a press conference and talk about how you came in second place on the guy you wanted and you put all your eggs in one basket. He even admitted his deadline was a failure. So I don't know what you people are on. Jack, Ace, are you a fan of the potential proposition that would bring back home whites and road colors? I think so. But I don't really care that much anymore, but I do like the white jerseys better. When I was a kid, you know, the white jerseys were the home jerseys and the red were away. And I was fine with that. I grew up loving the whites. My favorite Devils jersey of all time is the old school home white. It's just a beautiful jersey. That'll always be my favorite one. And I wouldn't mind them switching to white at home. I'm curious why they're looking into doing that. Chico, my only complaint with Keefe is Timo on the left wing. Bratt's more of a playmaker anyway. Move him on to the left wing. And Timo to the right. Let Bratt, Hischier, Meier score like 8 goals a game. That would be nice. Luke, Carolina's gotten hot. No way we could catch them. I hope they hold the 3 seed. I want those hillbilly douchebags. Oh, man. A Carolina matchup would be sick. Mike Case is Fedorov, most iconic. Darren McCarty, also a classic Red Wing for sure. Chico, favorite wing of all time for me has to be Datsuk. Just love his game all around. Do it all-star kind of player. Jack, Lidstrom and Zetterberger, 2 of my favorites. Winners. Yeah, they were great players as well. He was a Devils fan when he was young and then enlisted, went to Chicago, and came back a Wing fan. I could see how that would happen. Luke says these Fitz supporters must be on the NJD payroll. You would think. I mean, people trying to flame me about Cody Glass. Like, are you kidding me right now? I mean, nothing surprises me on the internet, but people talking smack as if, like, my rant was, you know, and again, it's been 2 games. Like, even if this guy finishes the season with 20 goals for the Devils, like, that doesn't exonerate Fitz from losing on deadline day. It just doesn't. Lidstrom was a monster. Victor Kozlov, oh, baby. One of my favorite Scott Stevens victims. Crushed. Absolutely crushed. Slava Fetisov, another Devil. Trevor, Timo is most definitely better when coming in on the right side. He often hits the mark like we saw tonight. Yeah. He's always going to drive the right side. It's his preference. It's clear. You know, if you've ever watched a game, it's not up for debate. Jack, is it me or is the current Devils red color lighter than the color was, say, 25 years ago during the Cup years? Well, we could do a test right now. This is a 2003 jersey, Jack. I never actually did this. This is a 2003 jersey. Let me just go grab a current jersey. I'll grab a very fresh jersey. It's hard to show on here, but this is a jersey from this year, a little Jacques Lemaire Ring of Honor. But I'm trying to show both. It's hard to. It's pretty close. Obviously, I have all these crazy lights for my cameras and shit. I don't want to hit my microphone, but it's pretty close. But I would say that might. I'm looking on the screen. That might actually make it look a little more dramatic than it is. But the current red is a little brighter for sure. I mean, you could see it. I'm wearing an old jersey, and this is a new jersey draped over my thing here. Cosmo just woke up. How pissed is Ace that Glass is on fire? He has 3 points in 2 games, Cosmo. What does that mean? Good for him. I don't understand it. Trevor, Fitz is a genius. The Glass trade want to move. SJ, I like the red personally, just like red more than white. That's fair. Husky says they constantly change the shade of red. Luke, Glass was a good move over a month too late. Donnell, would you want the NHL to go back to the 1-versus-8 playoff matchup? At least you know who's playing who this playoff matchup, so you got the same teams playing the first one every year. Donnell, probably the single number one thing that if your boy Ace was in charge of the league, I am 1,000% going back to a normal playoff matchup. The thing they have now is complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. Let the division winners get the top seeds and then reseed everybody to 8 and like they always did it, 1-versus-8, 2-versus-7, 3-versus-6, 4-versus-5, and then you reseed highest and lowest for the next rounds. 1,000% better than the bullshit they did now. They're trying to build up these rivalries, and yeah, it's like, how many times did we want to see I mean, granted, they're a great series, but like Bruins Leafs. Yeah, it just got monotonous and old. I want to see different matchups, and it doesn't make sense to me. I always like the old format better. So your question, Donnell, I would 1,000% go back to that. I think at some point they're going to have to do it. The current format, I think, is ridiculously stupid. Chico, no matter how good the deadline acquisitions play, and again, I want them to play well, it still falls short when you add even Raquel or Zetterlund to the haul. Well said, Chico. Well said. Did you see the survey where they ranked the most ignorant fan bases? Rags at number 1 and NJ at number 8. I did see that on X, I think. I did see that. It's not surprising to me. I actually thought the Devils would have been higher, to be honest. Mike, I have thought this too about the red. The 95 red looks cooler, but it may be because of the TVs. I'm not sure. A little bit of everything plays into it. Luke, Ace is like a kid in the candy shop with the jerseys. Got to love it. Tom, Donnell, I'd definitely like to see that. I hate the wild card setup. So do I. Chico, Zetterlund, comeback, Glass, Sprong, and Dumo. That's a decent deadline. Still not great, but better and enough that I would not be as angry with Fitz. I am right there with you. Right there with you. Joe Mama says it's the same. It's very close. Lou says, Ace, it might be time to walk back to Fitzgerald hate after these last 2 games. Just saying. Lou, you are out of your mind. Out of your mind. I am walking back exactly nothing. Nothing. Jack, hard to see on camera. Good point, Mike. The colors may have been affected by the TVs. No, I will I'll maybe try to do it tonight. I will post, I'll lay them over side by side, and I'll post a picture on the community tab so you could see it. But the new red is a little bit more vibrant for sure. Trevor, anyone know where to get a real Stadium Series jersey? Definitely my favorite recent alternate. So by real, do you mean the authentic version or just a real cheaper Adidas version? They are for sale online. You could find them. I don't think these people are trolling me, SJ. I think that's the sad part. I think these people really believe this stuff, which makes it even crazier that people really believe what they're saying. They could be trolling, but I don't think they are, which is sad. I'm pretty sure that they're dead serious. Jack, love that coho, Marty. Thank you, sir. Joe, I find it hysterical that the Fitz defenders are coming out after two wins. If this team goes on a heater, there'll be people waiting, wanting to give him GM of the Year award. Oh, boy. Jack, Glass should have been the third most noteworthy deadline move, not the headliner. Glad he's producing, but should have swung bigger. Agree with Ace, but again, glad to see him having early success. Very well said. Very well said. Chico, they did this wacky divisions for two reasons. They want more rivalry series. They wanted to use the word wild card. It's stupid. You need a star chart to figure out what your road is. Yeah, I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Mike, great take. I love the old format. Also, too many good teams have to play each other in the first rounds of this format. It's very dumb. Insane Pollock, Isles won 4 straight cups in their history. Jack, I get the idea of the current playoff format, but the repetitive matchups are getting old. We had Kings versus Oilers for 3 straight years. You know, the old format's way better. And the Isles have been a disaster since. Roman Checkmonic, the old red was so much better. Just go back to the old jerseys. Insane Pollock, yes, they are the fish sticks now. Chico, you can have two opinions. You could give Fitz props if Glass ends up a point-per-game player for us and still be angry at how he's run the team so far. Agreed. Patrick Waugh looks like he wants to punch someone in the mouth. Man, Patrick Waugh, what a fiery competitor, huh? I still am mad at him for that painful loss they gave us in the 2001 Cup Finals, man. That would have been a huge cup for the Devils to take. And instead he got it. Oh, it sucks. Really sucks. I'll never get over that one. And it's 24 years ago. Wild. Wild, wild stuff. Rivalries, nothing beats the old Patrick division days. Before my time, but I've seen plenty of video. Unhinged Devs fan, let's go Devils. Joe, hit the like for Ace. Thanks. Hit the thumbs up for your boy. I can't see what the stats are, but it's probably not enough. Mike, anyone else agree that Tatar and Plot are useless? Plot is apparently a playoff performer, though. I mean, listen. You know, the bottom 6 has struggled. Lines have been jumbled all around for large chunks of the season. I'm just hoping that we could be a cohesive unit come the playoffs and find a way to just grind out these wins. Grind, 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 grind. Chico, I'm tired of talking about Fitz. The deadline is in the past. There's nothing we can do about that now. We have Glass, and he's playing well. We have Dumo, and he's playing well. Yeah. Patrick Waugh rips fireball shots in between periods. Chico, Sprong looked good. Hope he gets back in the lineup soon. These guys are Devils now, and I'm their biggest fan just for that reason. I agree with that as well. I like turtles. What does that mean? Carter looked like a man possessed tonight. That goal he scored was one of my favorite from the season. It was sick. 2012 hurt more than the loss to Colorado to me. You knew that was it for Marty and Eliash, and might be the best chance for a lot of players we really liked. 2 OT losses at home, 2 post. Yeah, brutal. They could have won just one of those 2 games against the Kings to start the series. I do think the whole thing could have played out differently, but it didn't, and that's one that got away. Trevor, the effort's there from Palat and Tatar. They're always grinding, just can't finish anymore. It's true. Mike, if Blackwood, Wedgwood win the cup, that will be so weird. For sure. 2 former Devils making up a tandem in Colorado. Jack, I was there tonight. SJ Dumo looked slow on that Marchenko goal. He also had a pretty good chance. I forget what period it was in. He came in all alone. I think he got off a wrister, but would have loved to see all right, guys. It's that time for my bathroom break. I'm using the facilities real quick. I'll be back in 2 minutes or so. We will start winding this thing down. Throw out your comments, questions, whatever it is, suggestions. Throw out some suggestions. What types of videos do you guys want to see? I don't know. Throw it all out there. I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be back in 2 minutes, and we'll start winding this thing down. But throw it all out there. Throw it all out there, and we will see. We'll start shutting it down. I'm a little delirious. Wow. Be right back. Questions, comments, concerns, suggestions. Just throw it all out there. Maybe I'll bring back another jersey on the way back. All right, back from the bathroom. Since someone said the name, I always like the Albany Devils jerseys have always been sweet. It has the old school stripe on it, and this one was worn by none other than Mackenzie Blackwood. Nice Mackenzie Blackwood, Albany Devils gamer photo match. Some beautiful puck marks all up on this one. Very nice jersey. Chico, Plot didn't make $6 million. You honestly wouldn't hear me complain about him too much, but that contract basically made us give up to Foley, and that's just brutal. I mean, that one, I don't think that's necessarily fair, Chico. It's not like we signed Palat to that deal instead of Toffoli. He was a cap casualty for sure, but I don't think you could point to Palat specifically and be like, that's the reason we don't have him. But I understand your point. Matt, bad drafting, especially with our forwards, has been a major issue. Complete major issue. Tom, met Patty when I was 9, playing for the Devils youth in the airport. He talked to me and my parents for a good half hour and signed a hat for me. Wish he would have gotten 4. He would have gotten 4 what? Jack, Ace, assuming that we get in and all the D-men are healthy, any ideas on your ideal pairings? None whatsoever. Other than, I don't think Dougie's coming back, and I don't think Siegenthaler is either. So I think you might see pretty much what we're looking at now, except maybe someone gets taken out for Nemitz, but I highly doubt it. I think what you see now is what you're going to get. The only D pairing I have a strong preference for is I would like to see, Luke and Pesci, I think, need to stay together. Outside of that, I don't have much of a preference personally. Chico, wash those hands. I always wash my hands, bro. Come on now. Mark, such a huge win. We got to keep the pedal to the metal and beat the big boys like Edmonton on Thursday. Absolutely. Jack, Ace, you should do a video showing your favorite gamers from every season. I don't know. Do people really want to see that? I started, like, when I did this couple memorabilia videos, like, they did terrible. And I do think you get punished. Like, if I put out videos and no one, like, the views are terrible, I think it, like, punishes other videos. And so I'm a little, not that it's a big deal, but I don't know if it's worth doing. But I do have some ideas for some kind of game used, game worn, like, at least a couple of videos that I think people will find very, very interesting. Mike, suggestion, interview with Bauman. That's been on my list, actually. I think that would be a really good one. It's funny. I randomly sat next to him for a period of a game, I think 2 seasons ago, and I talked to him. It was before I had the channel. I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, that'd be an interesting one. I like that idea. Jack, should Timo still be wearing 96? Do you think he lost his pizzazz? No, I don't. Paulie, I know how this season has been referred to as a roller coaster ride. You should play the Red Hot Chili Peppers roller coaster song. Okay. I'll look into that. The Isles aren't in the worst position. Get Lou out, get a real GM, and get an offensive-minded coach in there, too. Do a quick retool, and they're back as contenders pretty quick. It's an interesting one. Trevor Cotter was a steal for us. He'll be our poor man's Brady Tkachuk. I hope he sticks around for a while. I mean, listen, I love Cotter, but Cotter and Brady Tkachuk, they're not even in the same stratosphere. Mark, I just realized the Devils have 10 home games left on their schedule, and it's a pretty easy schedule. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't make the playoffs unless they just totally flop. I mean, you'd like to believe that, but, anything could happen, and a lot of these teams are going to be playing desperate. I don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, as they say. But hopefully they find a way and finish strong. SJ Cotter has wheels, has to show it more. I'm not mad at that. Butch Goring has just hit the bong. The real devil has a problem with the Devils. A potential, I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that means whatsoever. Let me ask you, what jerseys do you like in the NHL? Home, away, or alternate? What team? That would be team specific, Donnell. And in the NHL, home, away, or alternate? If they don't lose points by losing in the last 5 seconds, they should be fine. Man, it'd be so nice to even have that 1 point from the Dallas game. Even if we ended up losing in the shootout or overtime, that one extra point in Dallas would be huge. Would be super huge. Lindy helped Jack, Nico, and Bratt take big steps. His system relies on skating demon and a good goalie behind you, and if you don't have those, it's going to get rough. He's a coach for the 1990s where defense comes first, but the Isles have Dobson and Sorokin. Joe says preach. Jack, thoughts on Eric Holla both on and off the ice? What do you mean off the ice? I don't know him. I like Holla. He's a fiery guy. Listen, our whole bottom six struggled. I'm not going to sit here and beat on guys. I don't think that that's fair. Obviously, he struggled mightily. It was good to see him get that monkey off his back. If you're referring to when he snapped on Daniel, I mean, I get why he did it. It was kind of a bad look for him, I think, and people kind of piled on. But just think about if you're a professional hockey player and random reporters are ripping you a little bit, even though it's part of their job. I understand how it all happened, right? Daniel was doing his job. Eric Holla, snapped on him. And I get all of it. I don't think it's the end of the world either way, and life goes on. I don't think he should have did it, but again, he's a human being, man. When you constantly see people tweeting and writing shit, updating how long you haven't scored a point, and that's got to really take a toll on you as a person. When does Buffalo make the playoffs? God, I don't know, 2 or 3 more years. Mark, if Montreal could hold on to their lead, they'll leapfrog over the scumbags. They'll have the same amount of points, but Montreal has a game in hand. Wow. Ryder, so far I'm impressed with Glass. Not holding my breath, but maybe he Wow. So far I'm impressed with Glass. Not holding my breath, but maybe he legitimately needed a change in scenery. Good win tonight. Yeah, a lot of times you see a guy get moved, and it's kind of it revitalizes them. You might be seeing that with him right now. Jack, I'm telling you I don't smoke, but I know one when I see one. That brother is stoned. Linda used to chain smoke outside the shop right by me. When people tried to talk to him, he'd say, beat it. You don't watch the games very well. Donnell, do you think the NHL will do expansion? If they do bring back the Coyotes and Thrashers to Phoenix and Atlanta, Houston for sure. Not sure it'd be the 4th expansion team. I don't think they ever go back to Phoenix. I do think Atlanta and Houston are probably the next 2 markets. Chico, I completely disagree. I think Holla was entirely in the wrong. I said he was in the wrong. I'm just saying I understand why it happened, right? I think it was wrong. I said I thought it was wrong. It was definitely wrong. Entertaining for sure, but I thought it was wrong. But again, it's not like he punched the kid in the face. It was a bad look for Holla, and he was wrong, I think. But, he's a human. So I'm saying I understand why it happened, but I think he was in the wrong for sure. I don't know that if a team goes back to Atlanta that they will use the Thrasher name. I don't think they will. Mike, hey, another cool suggestion for the show would be a segment where you show a classic or recent Devils highlight and discuss it. Could be a huge Brodeur save or something. Oh, that's interesting. Chico, Mercer's also looked a lot better since moving back to center. When Jack's healthy, a 1-2-3-4 down the middle of Hughes, Hischier, Mercer, and Glass could be really dangerous. I agree. Ryder, do the Devils get to the second round as currently constructed? Honest thought. I got them going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm sticking with it. That was my preseason pick. I think they're going to embrace this new brand of playoff hockey down the stretch. I think they're going to hit their stride at the right time. I think Markstrom's going to stand on his head, and I think we're going to surprise a lot of people and win 2 rounds and get to the ECF. Mark, I don't see Atlanta getting another franchise. They've had 2 failed franchises. I don't think the 3rd time would be a charm. I think they're going to try, man. It really seems like they believe in that in Houston as the next 2. Ace, who do you think Carolina hates more, Halsey or Mikko Rantanen? Definitely Rantanen. Don't know. With the jersey thing, I didn't ask what team do you like. I mean, what jersey do you like more of? Which jersey? It depends on the team. I'm biased for the Devils. I like the road jerseys better because I like the white, and I think the red pops on it better. But I would say different things for different teams. It's very team-specific, in my opinion. Jack, more likely than not, we have a date with the Canes come mid-April. Your overview briefly. I think we could hang with them, and I think it's going to come down to goaltending. And I think we got an X factor. Jacob Markstrom, baby. Marky's going to steal some games, and we're gonna get some revenge. Would love to see it. To finally get revenge. I freaking hate the Canes, man. They've owned us for too long. Cleveland could conceivably gain a franchise again. I don't think so. Can't see it. Paulie Walnuts, how about an interview with some of the guys from the 95 Cup team? Bruce Driver, the pride of Brick NJ, Jim Dowd. That's definitely possible. Ryder, bold. I love it. Cheers to the ECF. Skeptical, but down. Yeah, of course. Jim Dowd is like a weird religious guy now, just saying. That's fine. I just want to talk about hockey. I don't care what, Mark, I think New Orleans would embrace a hockey franchise and would be successful. That would be nice. Jack, Ace, you're not dissuaded by Markstrom results the last 3 or so games. No, I mean, he didn't play for 5 weeks, guys. Let him find his rhythm. I think one of the goals tonight was bad. That third one was super bizarre. The third one was super bizarre the way it happened. But give it some time. He's going to settle in. Now, if he doesn't start to tighten up a little bit, I'll be a little concerned, but I think he will. Chico, we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of the start of the rebuild. 15, 16. Maybe there's something around that you could do a retrospective on what I would have done video. It's interesting. But I also don't like doing that after the fact because people are going to be like, oh, you're full of shit. Like, I really wouldn't have drafted Nemitz number 2 overall. Like 100% I wouldn't have. I would have drafted Logan Cooley or Shane Wright 100%. I am not a fan of using super high picks on defensemen personally. I've just seen too many flame out, and I'm looking for, a forward with a pick that high. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting idea, but I feel like if I do it, people are going to be like, oh, yeah, right, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was never a Nemitz guy. Chico Markey has enough time to get it back before the playoffs. I agree. Insane Pollock, I would not trust Nemitz in a playoff game, and I think that's why we're not really going to see him much unless some sort of injury or, mandatory rest for somebody makes it a necessity. And I think that's another reason why we got Dumoulin. Like, they clearly rather have him and Chalowski playing than Nemitz. They're just like, we want more experienced guys. Fitz really values veteran experience. And you see that with Jake Allen. And I think it's part of the reason why I would not be shocked if Jake Allen is brought back next season. Mike K, I want to go on record saying Nico Dawes will be a star and just hasn't gotten the playing time. I think he's going to be good. But in the end, I think when Yegorov is time to come to the league, I believe it's his net. Yegorov is the next franchise goalie for this team. I really believe that. Donnell, they couldn't fill a college arena. The Yotes fans were definitely the problem. Yeah, if you couldn't, but I think the tickets were ridiculously expensive, if I'm not mistaken. But, the fans definitely have something to blame. Chico, what I would have done, step 1, don't hire Hines, keep Stevens as head coach. I don't remember if the all the details around that. Did he want it? I don't remember. Jack, I do have to say, if we get Markstrom in his pre-injury form, which we should, I give him the edge over Kochetkov, Anderson. Goaltending defense is so often the difference in the playoffs. Yeah, there's an emphasis on all of that. Joe, I agree. 13 goals allowed by Markstrom over the last 3 games. It's concerning. Hopefully he gets it back soon. Chico, I'm talking about way back, like the 2015 draft through the 17-18 season. Jack, in the playoffs, things get tight. I'd rather have a wholly healthy back end and net over a star-studded, flashy forward corpse. Agreed. Mike Dawes has 85 saves on 88 shots this year. Yeah, he's playing well. I think he's going to be a very good goalie. Thoughts on Nolan Patrick? I'm glad we didn't draft him. I mean, almost every scout had Nico higher than him. We made the right pick. And he's flamed out of the league. Didn't he have injuries or something? Wasn't his whole thing injury plagued? It's a shame. Jack, Nemitz will not see playoff ice this year unless half the D-core gets Ebola. Roman Czechmonic, Arizona is a better market than when they originally went there. They just sucked at catering to their fan base. Phoenix is a growing area. Ace, remember me? I'm the one that said Yegorov was the future. I demand a dinner. I'll settle for Olive Garden. Mark, I believe Dawes will be backing up Markstrom next year. Jake Allen is an unrestricted free agent. I don't think the Devils will re-sign him because they want to see what Dawes can do. I won't be shocked. Earlier in the season, I thought it definitely would be Dawes. Now, I'm not so sure. I would not be surprised if Jake Allen comes back. Roman Checkmonic, we had Makar over Patrick on the draft board, I heard. Chico, I feel bad for Nolan Patrick. His injuries piled up to the moon and he just can't play. We never really got to see him even close to his potential. Fitzgerald, Donnell, we filled CAA. Stop making excuses. They literally had to cover the nosebleeds in white tarp. Terrible. Trevor says Markstrom as a competitor will be on top of his game. Love me some Markey in the playoffs. Mike K, I thought Holtz would be really good. Surprised that didn't work out. I mean, I was very skittish once I heard all the scouting reports. Like, the big knock on him was his skating. That's always super troublesome to me. It's like, if you've been playing for this long and you're at this age now and everyone's report is that your skating is an issue, that's a massive, massive red flag in my opinion. You know, I'd rather, you know, a young guy have to learn some more of, like, you know, hockey IQ or hockey sense or work on, you know, something specific in his game other than skating. To me, when I see like skating as a weak, you know, one of their weak like elements, super frightening. Jack, imagine we drafted Makar. What a trickle-down effect. No Heischer, probably no Jack. No need for Dougie. Maybe an interesting idea. Or other Devils what-ifs. Those are good video ideas, maybe. Maybe. Chico, Holtz just can't skate. It's insane that he didn't work on that. But again, if he was playing for, call it 14, 15 years probably at that point, if his skating wasn't good, what are the odds that you improve that at that age? Like, that's always going to be your weak point, obviously. I mean, yeah, guys can work on it and get better, but that's like the fundamental thing that everything is based on. Like, if your skating is not good at that age, I think it's a red flag. Insane Pollock, I can't stomach the thought of Heischer in a Flyers jersey. Jack, would it make you happier if that made Makar a Devil? Dude, Makar's a beast. But I like Nico. Chico, maybe no Jack if we get Makar. Well, Makar didn't debut until 18-19 playoffs, which you wouldn't have made, so there's a possibility we end up with Jack and Makar. Man. Donnell, let me ask you, do you think the Toronto Maple Leafs are like the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL? Of their fans and never won in the playoffs, haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1967, and the media is always on them. I would say the Maple Leafs and to some extent, you know, the Canadians, those would be the two teams that are closest to the Cowboys of the NFL. Original 6 teams with rabid fan bases, a very storied history. I think that would be the good comparison. All right, that's it. It's over. Been on here forever. Got some shit to do. But, wow. What a night. Your New Jersey Devils coming off of a big win in Philadelphia on Sunday. Follow it up with a Tuesday night special. Beating the Blue Jackets, who are nipping at their playoff spot heels. Devils beat them by a score of 5-3. What an amazing night to be a Devils fan. Cheers to all of you. Cheers to the boys. They are back in action Thursday night, taking on Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers, and what is a massive, massive game. Massive, massive game. Yeah. All right, I'll be back. Tons of stuff in the works. Thanks for joining tonight. Good times as always. Victory Vodka was delicious tasting. And that's it, guys. Devils monster win. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. If you're newer to the channel, poke around, check out some of the other videos and stuff. If you go to the interview playlist, if you're an older fan, you'll see some interviews with former players on there. And that's it. That's it. I'm exhausted, but what a night. I'm fired up. This team's going to take us on a ride. On a wild ride, this team will take us. 16 games left. Got to finish strong. Got to get into the playoffs and do some damage. But thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.